roster.
Hold on, let me. Oh, whoa. On the Rowe roster, there's no. If I say it wrong, maybe I. It's 67, I believe.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll bang it.
There's 78 and 22. 78 and 22 are the other two. And it's 67 on Rowe. 78.
Guys, kill the name. What name is? Just kill.
Yeah. And hello, everybody. Tonight, another great evening for high school football. We are at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Along with Kevin Naro, I'm Scott Harrison. And non-district action, our host is Nikki Rowe from McAllen. They're 1-1 on the season. The Warriors are a District 36A school, and they will be hosting Laredo United Longhorns. They're 2-1. They're a District 29-6A school. Now, so far, Rowe has played 2 games. One was washed out last week, literally, by all those storms. You may remember a lot of games were rescheduled, some postponed, and that game that was postponed last week was scheduled to be against PSJA Memorial, but Rowe has 2 games so far this year, and they lost to Ed Couch Elsa 21-14, then an exciting game when they defeated Mercedes in double overtime 26-20. Meanwhile, for the Longhorns, they lost to Clemens 55-43. They were leading at halftime 37-35, but really struggled in the second half. They defeated Sherryland on the road 55-35. It was the Rattlers' worst loss since 2007. And on that rainy weekend, they defeated Clark 20-10. The low score, well, a lot of dropped touchdown passes, we were told by the Longhorns coaching staff. They dropped a total of 6 potential touchdown passes. Speaking of passing, we should see a lot tonight. Kevin, last week we saw Trevor Spates play for McAllen Memorial, and he rushed for 373 yards and 5 touchdowns, but it's going to be a little different tonight. Passing is going to be the name of the game this evening.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and it's great to be here. And a week ago today, we were sitting in here wondering if we were going to get our game underway, but that's passed. The rain is passed, and Laredo United comes into this ball game at 2-1, like you mentioned earlier, and they like to throw the football, and it's something that we really haven't seen this year. We've been really spoiled by teams that like to really ground and pound. I got to see these Longhorns last year in the playoffs in the area round when they played against Weslaco Panthers up in San Antonio, and they looked good then, and they look good now. Unfortunately for the Longhorns last year, their season ended against Converse Judson in the third round. But I'm excited to see these Longhorns again. I mentioned to you earlier that whenever you get a Valley school and a Laredo school, you put those two together, something special always happens, and there's a lot of rich tradition with Laredo and Valley schools. And you're right, both these teams like to pass the football, and with their quarterback, Ignacio Teles, he can really sling it around. A 3-year starter, 1,023 yards through the air as in his career. So this team loves to throw the football. David Sanchez, he's their number one target. He had a lot of big plays last year. He even set a couple of records. In the playoffs, he had a big game against Weslaco. Nikki, Rowe, they're going to have their work cut out for them. And if you're going to talk about the Warriors for a minute, they too like to throw the football. And this year, they're going to have a tough district in that 36A district. But the question for the Warriors is, will their defense play up to par? They have a new defensive coordinator this year, one in their last many years. So there's a transition on the defensive side. That's going to be the question mark coming into this one. But like Scott said, expect a lot of points here tonight.
And, of course, this broadcast made possible by Miriam Guerra Allstate Insurance with locations in Weslaco and McAllen. Also McDonald's, I'm loving it. This is the 956sports.com Game of the Week, and we are excited to be kicking things off here in just a few minutes. Now, basically, Rowe has two quarterbacks, John Perez, and he is their primary quarterback, but Jesus Sanchez is expected to see some time also. That's what Coach Paul Reyes told us prior to the game. Of course, he saw some action earlier this year one time because in the game, Perez got some cramps and Sanchez came in. But again, it is going to be a lot of fun. One of the guys we're looking forward to seeing for Rowe tonight is Joseph Marino. His father is one of the coaches, and he had 2 touchdown catches, including one in the second overtime in the victory over Mercedes. And you were talking about Ignacio Teles, their great quarterback. What a career he's had. He's thrown for over 4,200 yards in his career and 43 touchdowns. I believe that was just last season, actually. And he is just an incredible, incredible player. And I'll tell you what, he had a big game last year against Rowe. He threw for 353 yards and 7 scores in a 65-16 win. And I'll tell you, Kevin, I've seen a lot of football. I think the most touchdowns I've ever seen in one game tossed, and that happened to be 6 by Peyton Manning one time against the New Orleans Saints on a Sunday night game in New Orleans. But throwing those kind of numbers is just incredible. Of course, against Sherryland, I believe he threw about 8 touchdown passes, and that has not happened very often in the history of Texas football. We'll talk more about that, too. So we're excited to be here, excited to get things kicked off. No chance of rain this evening. Quite a departure from last Friday night. We were here to do the Trevor Spates game when Memorial was going to be playing that night, and that game got postponed until Saturday against San Benito, and of course that's when he had his big night, 373 yards. Now he is the all-time leading rusher in Valley history, and I know, Kevin, you were at the game last night, and you'll talk more about that as the evening goes on. Yeah,
absolutely. So the Warriors, again, they're underdogs on paper, but that's why you play the game and that's why you suit up. And a guy, speed, that's going to be the name of the game for these Warriors. Speed. And on the outside, they got big wide receivers that can make plays, like you mentioned. Joseph Moreno is one of them. He's listed as a junior, along with their quarterback/wide receiver, Hector Vasquez. But right now, Vasquez is slated to be the starting quarterback tonight. But, again, these Nikki Rowe receivers, they can make plays. They can stretch the field. And, again, that's something we haven't seen this year. We've seen a lot of running backs, and then we've seen a lot of quarterbacks that like to tuck it and run.
Well, tonight we are going to see the visitors, Longhorns. They are going to win the toss, and they are going to receive the ball, defending the north goal. So they Longhorns will get the first chance. We've been talking about the passing. John Perez of Rowe is the district's leading passer with 346 yards. He has completed 33 of 46 passes and had 4 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions so far this season. And over 70% of the Warriors' yardage comes from passing. And again, that's going to be interesting to see. And you were talking about Hector Bosquez. He was the starting quarterback beginning of last year and is one of their top receivers. And we'll be getting ready in just a moment for our national anthem. And that was our national anthem. Now, Kevin, a couple players we're going to look forward to see if they play tonight. Josh Hawley, usually a starter linebacker on defense, he has been out since suffering a leg injury in the offseason, and he may get some action tonight. Also, another player that has been out has been one of their running backs, and he's been suffering hamstring problems. We're talking about Nikki Rowe, and that's Jose Chavez, and he's number 20. We'll see if he gets some action tonight. So some players waiting to see what they might be able to do, and that's going to help Rowe as far as depth for the Warriors. They have definitely missed those 2 players. And again, United Longhorns, a big school. I've heard they've got anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 students, depending who I've asked. Actually, I did look up and saw that Miss Texas in 2011 came from that particular school. So they're well known. I think Rowe has got about half that number of students, maybe 1,500, 1,600. So definitely the bigger school, the United Longhorns. But again, you've got to see what happens on the field. Both teams like to pass, like we've talked about. We expect to see 70% of the game passing, but there are running backs out there, and we'll talk more about them, that can have big games too when they get their chances. They can go out there and pick up some big yardage, Kevin.
Yeah, and the receivers is where it starts and ends. You know, they like I said earlier, they can really stretch the field. Moreno, coming into last year around this time, only as a sophomore, had already racked up 719 yards. So the numbers that look pretty. The guys who can haul it in can definitely get the job done. Vasquez had a couple of big games as well, 145 yards receiving against La Jolla Palmview and hauling in 185 yards against Mission High when John Pettis was the quarterback. So at any time, you know, guys like Vasquez can come in and play the quarterback position or can line up out at wide receiver. So there's a ton of athletes on this Nikki Rowe squad.
And we're going to see what happens as far as defense tonight for Rowe. They used to be a 3-4 defense, but Noel Valero, he went from defensive line coach to defensive coordinator, and he changed the 3-4, or actually went from a 4-3 to a 3-4. Let me make that clear. But we'll see what they do tonight. Obviously, there can be different defensive schemes every game, and especially when you're going against such a potent offense as we see, or are going to see, I'm sure, from the visitors. And one thing, relax, lay back in your easy chair, because this may be a long game. I think both our games so far ended before 10 o'clock. I bet this game goes about 10:15 or 10:30 tonight.
Yeah, it was incomplete passes, just mean timeouts, clock stops, and whatnot. But I'm excited for this one. A lot of other Valley games going on. I know Harlingen is at Weslaco over at Bobby Lackey. That's a big game. So we're going to go ahead and keep an eye on that one as well, and we'll go ahead and keep you up to date. If you're on Twitter, you can follow 956 Sports at 956 Sports on Twitter, and you can like us on Facebook. at 956 Sports as well. And then as the game goes on, we'll keep you up to date with scores, and I'll go ahead and give you the final scores from last night's ball game.
And it's going to be Jesus Sanchez who is going to kick off for the Nikki Rowe Warriors. He'll be kicking from our right to left. He is a kicker, punter, plays quarterback, does a lot of different things. And they'll have two backs dropping back deep tonight for the visiting Longhorns. They have their orange pants, white jerseys with the orange numerals, orange helmets. As far as Rowe, they have their white pants, and they have their green jerseys with the white numerals and white helmets. And now the ball has been kicked off, and we are underway. And let us see what is going to happen here. Ball comes out to the 35-yard line, and it is going to be 1st and 10 coming up for the visiting Longhorns.
Decent starting field position for the Longhorns. And again, we'll see how quickly they decide to go deep. And it's going to be a really tough test for this secondary. We're going to keep an eye on David Sanchez, who's their standout wide receiver for these Longhorns.
And the ball is going to be marked down at the 36-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10. Again, Longhorns, they are moving from our left to right here in the first quarter. Shotgun formation. We have trips left. And pass has gotten off very quickly. A little screen. It's going to get not much yardage at all. And it was dropped off that time to Derek Luna. And, of course, it is Ignacio Tellis who is the quarterback, and he can pick up a lot of yardage tonight, but that time only 1 yard, 2nd down and 9 from the 36. We have trips left once again. Again, shotgun formation. Slot on the other side, and as Tellis goes back to pass, there is a flag on the play.
This one should be going up against the offense, and it's going to be a false start. Derek Luna hauled in that first reception. On the year, Scott, he leads the team with 362 all-purpose yards, so you're going to see a lot of Luna.
And on that play, the intended receiver was Daniel Reese, I should say, and guarding on that play was Richard Sanders, but of course the whole play was negated by a penalty. So it's going to be 2nd down and 14 from the 32-yard line, and pass will go back and be complete this time. The pass goes over to Derek Luna again.
Yeah, there's Luna again, just finding a soft spot in the secondary. And again, he's coming out of the slot. Sanchez is on the outside. That's one thing that's very scary about this Longhorn offense. They got a lot of weapons on the outside.
All right, there's a gain of 7 on the play. The ball will go down to the 39-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 7. And we have trips on the right. And Tellis goes back to pass. He is pressured, and he is going to go down for a loss.
He was able to get rid of it, but I think they're going to call intentional grounding here.
Yeah, he got rid of it at the last second. It looked like he was going to go down. Marcus Flores looked like one of the people that was applying some of the pressure.
Yeah, and indeed it is intentional grounding. And Nate Hernandez, the senior defensive lineman, was the guy who put the initial pressure up the middle, forcing the quarterback to flush the pocket. And that's a big play there for this Warrior defense, who got burnt quickly on a couple of quick screen passes to Luna.
So the ball was at the 39-yard line. It is going to go back to the 21. And punting unit will come out right now. And the punt will go from about the 5-yard line. And back around the 45, it's going to be bounce. Neither of the upbacks are going to try to get the ball. Back there for Rowe was Joseph Marino and also Hector Vasquez. So it is going to be at the 46-yard line right now for the home team, Nikki Rowe. Their first possession of the night. 1st and 10, 10:25 remaining here in the opening quarter. So, Kevin, good job on defense on that first series for Rowe.
And they're going to get good start in field position. Just right about at midfield is where the Warriors will take over on their opening possession.
And coming out, John Perez is the quarterback. Two backs in motion, going left to right. Wide out now goes far left, and there's a flag. Looks like maybe some illegal formation, Kevin, on the shift.
Yeah, there's a lot of green bodies moving down there.
Yeah, we had two backs moving to the right side, one moving to the left. And because of all that movement, we have an illegal formation. Ball will be moved back to the 41-yard line, where it will be 1st and 15 from the 41. We have trips on the right, slot to the left, barking out the signals. Perez looks downfield, and the ball is tipped, and it is an interception right around midfield. And with the tackle is Joseph Marino coming up with the interception on that play. It looks like Emmanuel Vasquez.
Yeah, Emmanuel Vasquez with the old tip drill was able to haul it in, and that was a clean pocket there for the Warriors. Just an unfortunate mistake, and now the Longhorns they're going to have good field position for their second possession.
That's right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they try and strike one deep here on their first play.
Ball inside Rowe territory at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10. Not even 2 minutes gone in the game, and already the second possession. And a long pass, as you said, on that opening possession. And that pass was intended for, I believe, Sanchez down there.
Yeah, he was looking for David Sanchez on that deep route. And just as I said just a couple seconds ago, no surprise there that the Longhorns trying to quickly take advantage of the Warrior mistake.
David Sanchez running down the left sideline. Incomplete pass. Had a step on the back, but the pass was incomplete from Tellis. This time he'll delay, hand it up the middle, and going for a few yards on that play is number 32, Alexis Villanueva, and he's had a good season so far, right?
Yeah, Villanueva's putting up monster numbers. He has already 3 100-plus games.
Actually, 499 yards, right?
Yeah, now you can say he's over 500 on the year.
Got 6 on that. Ball to 43 this time. Little pass into the right flat, and the back will take it down to the 31-yard line. Nice play, and a pickup by Derek Luna on that play. And it is going to be down about the 32-yard line. And on that play, making the stop, looked like it was Eloy Rios. Gain of about 15 on the play. 1st and 10 at the 32 of Nikki Rowe. This time fakes the handoff and dumps it off on the right side, and the receiver this time will be going nowhere. And the receiver this time, let me check here. There's a lot of numbers here to go through, Kevin. We're on the second page this time looking this one up. It was number 8, Chris Salinas, the receiver. So a gain of 5 on that play. 2nd down and 5 at the 27-yard line. Slots on each side, shotgun formation, maybe a little too much motion by the offense.
Yeah, talking about Villanueva just a couple moments ago, coming into the ball game, he was averaging 7 yards on the ground, 499 yards, so he's already well over 500. This penalty is going to be going against the Longhorns. As a team, Scott, this team, yes, they like to throw the ball, but on the ground, they are averaging 5.8 yards a carry and 538 yards a game on the ground. So this team can really do it all.
All right, looked like some kind of illegal motion, I believe. 2nd down and 11, ball at the 33-yard line. No score, 3 minutes into the game. Longhorns moving toward our right. And this time Tellis will dump it off in the backfield. And one of the backs will try to move around the left side, but will not get much yardage at all. And that back this time was Rafael Estevez.
For the Warriors, you have to be careful because what it looks like the Longhorns are doing, they're taking a lot of quick screen passes and out routes, and then they like to go deep, trying to get that defense to bite.
All right, going back once again. Long pass. Looks like it was down there near the 1-yard line, so about a 31-yard gain on that play, and it was Sanchez. Well, actually, a touchdown. Okay, they're going to call it a touchdown. So a 31-yard touchdown pass. Sanchez, who in a recent game had 13 receptions, I think he might even have about 5 touchdowns. So with 8:37 remaining here in the first quarter, David Sanchez catches the touchdown pass, and it is a 6-0 game. 2-point conversion, and the 2-point pass is good from Tellis. And the receiver on that particular play was Derek Luna. So Derek Luna catches the 2-yard 2-point conversion pass, making it 8-0 with 8:37 remaining here in the opening quarter. Remember, we talked about the ability of this team to score, the Longhorns, and they can do it very quickly. And that time, the long pass, good for the touchdown. So we'll have the kick coming up in just a moment. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Miriam Guerra Insurance, Allstate Insurance, with locations in Weslaco and McAllen. Also McDonald's, I'm loving it. And going back right now to receive the kickoff is going to be Gus Salazar for Nikki Rowe, and also Joseph Marino. And getting ready are the Longhorns to kick it off. It's going to be Emmanuel Vasquez who will be kicking off. Beautiful evening, McAllen, Texas, McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're glad you're all aboard to enjoy this edition of high school football. And the ball is kicked off. We'll come down near the 15-yard line. And the ball will be taken to about the 30. And about the 33 is where the back will be knocked down. Gus Salazar. So that's where the Warriors will start 1st and 10.
Well, their first drive got cut short on that interception, so you know the Warriors are going to try and quickly regroup here and put together a nice drive. They're going to want to kind of give their defense a break. They've been on the field for a majority of the first quarter, so we'll see what these Warriors have up their sleeve.
J.J. Salas in on the tackle. Salas, a cornerback. 1st and 10 from the 33. Trips right, slot left. Pass goes downfield, and the receiver slips wide open near midfield, Hector Vasquez, but it's incomplete, and this time it's Jesus Sanchez in a quarterback. We talked about how they used 2 quarterbacks. It was John Perez to begin the game, but Jesus Sanchez in there right now for Rowe.
Sanchez really wants that one back. He had Vasquez wide open over the middle, which could have been 6, Scott, and we could be talking about a tie ball game. But that one just underthrown, and another costly error from these Warriors early on.
Back in motion toward the right side. Back to Bass once again. It's Sanchez, and he'll get the ball down to about the 30-yard line. Back on his own efforts, gets to about the 35. Short pickup of only about 2 yards on that particular play. And the receiver on that play was Jose Chavez. We talked about how he'd been out with injuries, hamstring problems. Good to see him out there tonight, Kevin. Going to be 3rd down and 7. Ball at the 37-yard line. Slots on each side. This time good pursuit in the backfield. And we'll see if the quarterback can get the ball off. And no, he's knocked out of bounds. And he's knocked out at about the 38-yard line. Gain of only 2, so still about 5 yards short of the 1st down.
I really like what the Longhorns are doing up front. That time it was Hector Ballesteros who really put the pressure. And again, that's what we've seen on this drive. The first couple of plays, this defensive line really controlling the line of scrimmage.
All right, going back for the punt is David Sanchez, who scored the touchdown a couple minutes ago. And staying in the game is the quarterback to do the punt, Jesus Sanchez. Also the punter for Nikki Rowe. Clock moving down to about the 7-minute mark here in the first quarter. Gets the punt off at his own 30-yard line. By the way, is the coach's son. His father, David Sanchez, gets the ball down to about the 43-yard line where he is knocked down. And among those in on the tackle is Nate Hernandez for Nikki Rowe.
There's a flag at the 29-yard line. This one looks to be against the receiving team. May get a block in the back here. 6:54, and it is indeed a block in the back. So, again, a couple of penalties here. Last night's scores, we had Weslaco East all over La Jolla 52-0. Edinburgh Vela defeated PSJ Memorial 55-14. And the game I was at here, McAllen Memorial defeated Edinburgh North 55-20. So a lot of lopsided scores in last night's action.
And the ball will go back to the 20-yard line. Longhorns will start off 1st and 10. They lead 8-0, approaching the midpoint of the opening quarter. Again, we have trips over on the right side. And looking toward that right side is the quarterback, and he is going to find a wide open receiver down around midfield. And this time it's Derek Luna. We've called his name a lot, and he is actually going to go down to about the 43-yard line. So on that play, gain of about 37 yards, Kevin.
Yeah, Luna again coming out of the slot. He's wreaked a lot of havoc already in the secondary, and we're only in the first quarter. A lot of weapons for these Longhorns.
Slots on each side. Shotgun formation. Tellis going back, looking downfield to about the 10-yard line. And the pass that time was intended for Jorge Murillo, but a good defensive coverage back there. So second and 10 coming up from the 43-yard line. Back on defense that time was Eloy Rios.
This is a big drive for the Warriors, or rather a defensive stop here. That's what they're going to need.
Slots on each side. This time ball dumped off near the line of scrimmage on the right side, and not getting much yardage at all is Jorge Murillo. Jorge Murillo gets it down to the 39-yard line, so it's going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up.
It's a big 3rd down coming up for this offense.
Trips left, and this time Tejas gets it off on the left flat, and it's going to be good for a 1st down to about the 29-yard line. Got about 8 yards on that play. Looks like it was Derek Luna again.
Yeah, and David Sanchez was really the decoy on that play, taking two cornerbacks deep out to the 20-yard line, and that opened up the open flat for David Sanchez. Just good play design there. You know, the Warriors have to respect David Sanchez and what he can do when he stretches the field. That time around, it was Luna. So, again, there's a lot of weapons for these Longhorns. You got Luna.
We called Luna several
Sanchez.
times on receptions tonight. So it's going to be 1st and 10 coming up from the 29-yard line of Nikki Rowe. There is timeout on the field called by the Warriors. First timeout used in the ball game. Again, 8-0 Longhorns leading the Warriors midway through the first quarter. Glad to be here tonight. Talked to Paul Reyes before the game. Enjoyed meeting him, the head coach of Nikki Rowe. Very nice man. So once again, Tellis brings his team up to the line. Drops back to pass. Gets some time and has a receiver open, and it's Sanchez, and he catches the ball. Good defense back there by Jonathan Pena, but Sanchez got open and got it down near the 10.
He hauled that in with one hand.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't defend that any better. Sanchez just really showing off the mittens there.
Gain of 19 on the play. 1st and 10. They'll mark the ball at the 11-yard line. Knocking on the door. This time, ball goes over toward the right side. And Jorge Murillo was the intended receiver. Playing defense that time. Eloy Rios doing a nice job. 2nd and 10. Not a bad job defensively at times by those backs out there for Nikki Rowe. Again, dropping back to pass, not much time, is the quarterback. And Tellis will try to get it in the left end of the end zone for David Sanchez, but broken up back there. Nice job by Richard Sanders. Sanders got a mid up there, as you like to use that word, and knocked the ball down, Kevin.
5:42 in this opening quarter, and really this Longhorn offense has really dominated the early going here, doing really whatever they want.
3rd down and 11. They could get a 1st down at the 1-yard line, and this time Tellis feels the pressure, but he is going to get a couple yards, but not much, and he is knocked out of bounds. And Isaac Mato among those in there. Also Alex Juarez supplying the pressure. So let's see where they mark the ball. 9-yard line, gain of 2 only on that play, Kevin. Good lateral pursuit.
And he got flushed out, and really he turned in what looked like to be a loss and into a gain of 2.
Well, Tellis is just a natural athlete. That much is for sure. So it's going to be 4th and 8, and they're going to go for it. Have to go down to the 1-yard line to get a 1st down. And back to pass is Tellis. He has a wide receiver open, and he will catch the pass for the touchdown. Jorge Murillo, and he got by a couple defenders that time, including Eloy Rios, for the touchdown. So the score is now 14-0 on the touchdown pass. Again, looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion, which is I think they're going to do all night. I don't think they do much kicking. And the 2-point conversion is good. And once again, it's Jorge Murillo over on the left side of the end zone. So Murillo gets the touchdown pass, and also he does get the 2-point conversion, and is now 16-0. The lead for the visiting Longhorns. 5:21 remaining here in the opening quarter. And already in this game, 2 touchdown passes for Teos, or Tellus, I should say. And again, he can have some big games. We know about that. Remember, he finished 40 of 59 with a 400-yard game and 8 touchdowns in the win against Sherryland. I think you may have been at that game, right, Kevin?
Which game was that?
The Sherryland game when Laredo played Sherryland. Did you get to that game at all?
Last year I had Laredo Alexander.
Okay, so
Sherryland.
you didn't get to the Sherryland game this year. All right, just
No.
want to make sure. So 16-0 is the score, 5:21 remaining. 3 backs dropping back right now for Nikki Rowe. And
But they did get their revenge on Sherryland this year. They always circle that game when Sherryland meets up with the Laredo schools.
all right, Emmanuel Vasquez will be kicking off at his own 40-yard line. Kicking off toward our right. And ball is bobbled at about the 13-yard line. And the ball will be taken up to about the 23-yard line. And on that carry is Hector Bosquez, I should say. And Bosquez, remember last year, as we mentioned at the top of the show, was the starting quarterback. We'll see if he sees any duties at quarterback. I don't think he does that anymore. But they're going to mark the ball at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10. So we'll see if now the Warriors can get something started on offense.
Yeah, the game that he didn't play quarterback when he made that transition over the wide receiver, he had 2 100-plus games as a receiver. So, he's definitely an athlete.
And again, trips on the right side. Handoff in the backfield. Not much going. Actually, a loss on that play. Back to the 20-yard line. And on that particular carry, it was Gus Salazar.
Carlos Sepulveda made a good play there at the linebacker position. Just simple sideline to sideline.
And we have Jesus Sanchez back at quarterback. Second series for him at quarterback. John Perez started the game at quarterback. And we have slots on each side. Empty backfield. Pass comes up and is intercepted. Intercepted at about the 45-yard line. And the interception is Michael Castillo. Castillo jumps up and gets the ball at the 45. Big defensive play for the Longhorns.
Yeah, Jesus Sanchez just threw that one up, hoping his receiver would come down with it. And again, a nice play from Castillo, showing off the athleticism. It's already 2 interceptions, and we're still in the first quarter. And again, good starting field position for the Longhorns, who are already up by 16. And again, Scott, keep an eye. They might like to go deeper to David Sanchez.
3 receivers stacked over on the right side. And we see looking down toward that way is the quarterback, Tellis. Tries to find a receiver down near the goal line. And this time it is Daniel Reese. Passes incomplete.
So again, really just preaching to the choir here. He goes deep again, but this time he looks to his other target. That's Ruiz.
Again, 3 receivers stacked over on the right side. And this time the ball will be handed off, and it's going to be about a 5-yard gain. And it is their big running back taking the ball, Alex Villanueva. He's going to get actually 4 on the play, we'll call it. 3rd and 6 to the 41-yard line of Nikki Rowe. This time fakes the handoff to Villanueva, dumps it off on the right side, and a short gain. Ball will go down near the 39-yard line, but that may be enough for the first down. It was Chris Salinas with the catch.
Yeah, Villanueva on the ground is averaging 7 yards a carry. Then he's also a threat in the receiving end.
So the ball's down to the 34-yard line. Nice gain that time, gain of about 8. First down and 10, under 4 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Again, we have receivers 3 over there on the right side. This time delayed handoff to Villanueva, and he is going to get inside the 25-yard line before he's tackled by Aaron Ramirez, a linebacker. So nice job on that play, and it looks like it is a first down, gain of over 10 on that play, Kevin.
Yeah, that was Villanueva again, and this Longhorn offense really starting to wear down this defense of the Warriors.
And there's a flag before the snap. Villanueva, very impressive, really compliments the passing game. And as you mentioned, he's got 100 yards in rushing each game, over 500 for the season. And there is going to be a flag on the play against the offense. So they will go back to the 22-yard line. Actually, I think the 28, 1st and 10. And very quickly, a pass is attempted in the end zone. And it was intended that time for Daniel Reese.
Eloy Rios, rather, was the guy who broke up that potential touchdown pass. And a nice defensive play there for the Warriors. Now to a 2nd and 15 now.
We've called Rios' name out a lot tonight. They've been throwing his way a lot. He has been a very busy young man. 2nd down and 15, 27-yard line is where the ball is of Nikki Rowe. This time, quarterback tries to move to his left, and Tellis finds no one open, tries to throw it toward his right, cross the field, and it is intercepted that time. Good job by Brandon Leal. The intended receiver that time down the field was Derek Luna, who's got a lot of passes, but not that time.
Yeah, just a bad decision there. Really just threw across the field, and that's really one thing you don't want to do if you're a quarterback. So all you younger kids out there, never try and roll one way and try and throw the other way. And that was just an easy interception there for Brandon Leal, who was waiting for it. We could see it up here from the press box. But a much-needed turnover for the Warriors. Now they have the ball, and maybe if they can get a score here, they can close out this quarter with some momentum.
So 3 interceptions already in the game. 2 for the visiting Longhorns. Now the first one of the night by the junior defensive back, Brandon Leal, for the hometown Warriors. Empty backfield, shotgun formation, dumps it off on the right side, and there'll be a gain of about 3 on that play on the pass to Joseph Marino, who, remember, has had 2 touchdowns in a game this season in the victory over Mercedes, including 1 in the second overtime. His father is a coach on the team. 3rd down and 8 at the 12, at the, 3rd down and 8 at the 20-yard line. Slot over there on each side, empty backfield. And throwing the pass incomplete that time is John Perez. We have to mention Perez is back at quarterback. So after a couple series for Jesus Sanchez, Perez comes back in the starter.
Yeah, Moreno, he had him open. And again, Nikki Rowe, their plays are there. The receivers are getting open. It's just they're missing them. And that's the 3rd time tonight that one of the quarterbacks has missed their wide receiver.
3rd down and 8. Slot right, trips left, empty backfield. This time dumps it off to one of those receivers on the left side. And he's going to get some yardage. Going to get all the way to the 42-yard line. Gain of about 22 yards on that play. And it's Hector Bosquez. That's the young man we talked about that used to be the quarterback, now doing a good job at wide receiver.
Yeah, Bosquez had a whole sea of green in front of him. And not green as in the turf. He had a whole wall of Warrior blockers in front of him. And he lost his hat on that play, so he has to come out for one play at least. But that is a huge play there for the Warriors, and a much-needed one, too.
And they'll call it officially a 23-yard gain. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line of the Warriors. This time, dumped off on the left side near the line of scrimmage over to Raul Juarez. And Juarez is only going to get a yard or 2, and a good gang tackling that time by the Longhorns.
Mission Veterans just took their first lead of the night, 7-6. They're playing against PSJ North. Coach Guerrero's keeping me up to date with the Mission Veteran Patriots.
J.J. Salas among those in on the tackle. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 from the 45-yard line. And again, Perez is hit as he gets the pass off. It was intended down the field for Hector Bosquez down around the 30, but a lot of pressure, a good defensive push that time by the defensive line.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that one, trying to just threw the ball away into no man's territory. Try it again, and which is going to be a very crucial 3rd and 8 coming up for the Warriors.
Back on defense that time, again, J.J. Salas. We've called out his name a lot tonight. Perez rolls around the right side, gets some pressure, tries to get it downfield, and the pass is incomplete. It was intended for Joseph Marino. Among those applying pressure that time, good job by Gilbert Mesa for the Longhorns.
Yeah, just overthrew Moreno by a couple of steps. And again, these receivers are doing a very good job on their route running. They're smooth and they're crisp. They're just the timing is a little off.
So it'll be 4th and 8 at the 45-yard line. Again, punt coming up. Jesus Sanchez will be the punter. one back around his 20-yard line. And he is going to get the ball about his 22-yard, actually a 28-yard line, and going to get down near the 40. David Sanchez, I believe, on the punt return. And with the tackle, Ivan Avila. And it's going to be at the 39-yard line of the Longhorns. Will get it 1st and 10, leading 16-0 with 1:26 remaining here in the opening quarter.
Jason Mack from the Laredo Morning Times, he's covering the Sherryland-Alexander game. Sherryland just took a 7-0 lead.
All right, handoff goes up the middle to about the 48-yard line. Nice gain on that play of about 13.
That's one game we'll go ahead and keep an eye on. I'm sure the Laredo fans tuning in are going to have some interest in that one because Sherryland and Laredo Alexander, it's always a big game.
And it was Alex Villanueva on that run. And scrambling now for his life is Tellis. He does get the ball off deep down the field near the 10-yard line. And we have the defensive back and the receiver diving for it. Did the receiver get it?
They're going to call it a catch. The referee on the near side, or rather the back judge on our side of the field, sprinted over and signaled a catch. What a play from the Longhorns, and they go deep.
It's David Sanchez, gets about 35 yards on that play. Gain of 35, 1st and 10 at the Nikki Rowe 13-yard line. And again, handoff to Villanueva. He won't get much up the middle that time, maybe 1 or 2.
Sanchez just came back and hauled that one in. Incomplete from up here, but of course the back judge has the better angle. And if you're a defense for the Warriors, how deflating is that? They were holding him, and they get a big play.
Gain of 1 on the play. 2nd down and 9 from the 12-yard line. 3 receivers on the right side. And Tellis looks up the middle. Little post pattern. And pass is incomplete. And intended was Jorge Murillo, who already has scored a touchdown on a 2-point conversion in this game. So it'll be 3rd down and 9 from the 12-yard line. Closing seconds of the opening period. Longhorns leading 16-0. Again, dropping straight back is Tellis. Tries to get it down to his receiver at the 2-yard line. And it, I believe, is incomplete. Again, Sanchez is the intended receiver. And back there defending was Jonathan Pena, defensive back. So it'll be 4th down and 9 at the 12. I'm not sure this team kicks field goals, the Longhorns, Kevin.
Well, I didn't even catch that. I saw 8 on the board. I was like, there wasn't a safety, and then when I realized, they went for 2.
Yeah, and they're going to go for it. 4th and 9 at the 12 of Nikki Rowe, and there is a flag prior to the snap. All right, illegal motion, it looks like, called against the Longhorns, so it's going to be 4th and 14. 18 seconds remaining. Ball is now moved back to the 17-yard line. So they'll have to get the ball down to the 3-yard line to get a 1st down. And back to pass with a receiver wide open in the end zone. Is it a touchdown? Yes, it is. And we'll see who it was. A couple receivers.
David Sanchez again on the
David Sanchez
on the touchdown.
So on a 4th down play, Sanchez gets the reception for the touchdown, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And that pass, 17 yards. Sanchez got the first score of the game on a long touchdown reception. Going for 2 once again. And the 2-point conversion pass is good to Derek Luna. So all 3 of the 2-point conversions attempted tonight by the Longhorns have been good. And with 5 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter, the Longhorns have moved out to a 24-0 lead over Nikki Rowe. And again, 3 touchdown passes so far in this game for the quarterback of the visitors, doing a nice job out there, Ignacio Tellis. Remember, he had 8 touchdown passes against Sherryland, and last year when Nikki Rowe played this team, over 60 points was scored by United Laredo. So they have a very, very potent offense. They defeated Rowe last year 65-16. Gus Salazar and Joseph Marino among those back to get the kickoff. Coming up by Emmanuel Vasquez. Backs lined up near the 10-yard line to receive the kick. And it's taken about the 18. And not much running room at all. Maybe about a yard or two. And that is going to be all. Joseph Moreno on the carry. So that is the end of the first quarter of play. That is the end of the first quarter of play. And it is now 24-0. The Longhorns leading. So, Kevin, we thought we'd see some passing tonight, and we have. We have seen some good defensive play. Each team has at least one interception. Longhorns have two.
Yeah, well, I think when you throw it that many times, probability says you're going to throw at least one or two interceptions. Some scores from across the valley. Roma leads La Jolla Palmview 14-7. Brownsville St. Joseph 36. Far Oratory nothing. Corpus Christi King 13. Rio Grande City 7. Port Isabel and Valley View are scoreless at the end of the first quarter. The big game out at Bobby Lackey Stadium. The Harlingen Cardinals are out in front 13-0 against Weslaco. That's in the first quarter.
All right, Nikki Rowe has the ball. First 10. Man in motion. And keeping the ball this time. Or actually getting the ball this time.
So they'd like to give their defense a break.
Yard line. Rowe moving to our left to right toward the south end zone. This time ball is dumped off at about the 30 and good yardage down to about the 45. Gain of about 15 on that play by Hector Bosquez.
Yeah, Bosquez made the one-man miss and it was able to pick up just enough for the first down, and a big first down that I mentioned just a couple seconds ago.
Gain of 15. Chris Fine, the free safety, makes the tackle. So 1st and 10, and you were mentioning, Kevin, how you want to give the defense some rest. Nothing like first downs to do it. Again, shotgun formation. Ball dumped off on the right side and through the hands of Bosquez. So Bosquez this time trying to go right. Maybe he was trying to look downfield a little quickly before he got a good grip on that ball, and it's just an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 from the 45.
Yeah, these Warriors like to do what Edinburgh Vela and what the Rattlers of Sherryland like to do, these quick screen passes, little bubble routes out in the flats, and then they'll like to go deep. They could be setting up for a deep play here.
We've got 3 wideouts on the right side, slot on the left, empty backfield, and Sanchez will keep the ball himself. He gets to the 50, 45, spins at the 40 and goes down, gets a first down on that play, and nice job of about a 15-yard rush, quarterback keeper.
Yeah, Hector Ramirez was running a deep route, and he kind of waved his hand up at the last second. But by that time, Jesus Sanchez had already had his mind made up. Nonetheless, a nice run from the Warrior quarterback.
Gain of 14 on the play. 1st down and 10 in Longhorn territory at the 41-yard line. Little screen pass once again dumped off. And this time, the ball will go to Joseph Moreno. And Moreno will get very little on that play. Brought down after about a couple yards.
The Warriors putting together a nice little drive here. 24-0. Still early in the second quarter. And again, we know these Warriors have the athletes. They have the guys to put up the points. It's just a matter of putting it all together.
2nd down and 8. Ball at the 39-yard line. Sanchez, a quarterback, looks downfield. He has a wide open receiver, and he gets it at the 20. Finally knocked down at about the 10-yard line. Nice job by Joseph Marino on that play. Back guarding him was J.J. Salas.
That was the nice double move there. Moreno getting into the secondary, getting that separation. So a 29-yard reception from Moreno puts the Warriors in business.
So it looks like it is going to be 1st and goal right at the 10-yard line. And this time, delayed handoff, quarterback keeper, and Sanchez will be down to the 5-yard line before he is finally spun around and brought down by safety Michael Castillo. Gain of about half what you needed for the touchdown, gain of 5, so it'll be 2nd and goal to go from the 5.
Warriors knocking on the door.
Yep, and I'll tell you, Kevin, you talked about this at the beginning of this drive, need to consume some time. This drive is about 3 minutes, so it has consumed almost a quarter of the second quarter. Nice job using the clock, and now there will be timeout on the field.
So with the timeout on the field taken by the Warriors, we'll go ahead and give you some more updated scores. Mission Eagles lead the Edinburgh Bobcats 21-0. End of the first quarter, Corpus Christi Carroll leads Mackay 27-0. And then, Scott, last night, of course, the big story is Trevor Spates, who surpassed former Mustang great Bradley Stevens, and I was here for that ball game. Spates needed 283 yards to surpass Stevens. He finished with 338 and 6 touchdowns, and it was last week we saw him get 5 touchdowns for a career high. He set a new career high with 6 scores, and it was on a 59-yard run to the right that broke the record, and it was a great moment for McAllen ISD and for Mustang football. And we'll talk a little bit more about the story after this play.
9:06 remaining. It's been all Nikki Rowe so far in the second quarter. Took the ball to begin the quarter, and they have not relinquished it yet, and they've got the ball down to the 5-yard line of the Longhorns. 2nd and goal to go. Man in motion toward the left. Be snapped back, given to the deep back. He is going to get down to about the 3-yard line where he is tripped up. Carrying the ball on that play was Jose Chavez. Gets a couple yards on the carry.
Well, Chavez, like you mentioned earlier, was questionable whether he was going to be able to play tonight, so he's out there on the field. So
yeah.
He's they said he was about 100%. He was ready to go, so he's out there on the field. That's good for the Warriors to have their running back in the lineup.
So they're going to mark the ball at the 2 and call it a 3-yard gain. 3rd down and goal to go at the 2-yard line. I think this is going to be 4 downs, Kevin, regardless of what happens. When you're down 24-0, I don't think you have anything to lose. You've got to go for it. But it's still 3rd down, so possibly they could score on this one. And the quarterback keeper, Sanchez, thinks about sweeping around the left side, delays for a moment, and good pursuit that time. Brought down for a loss. And on that particular defensive play was Hector Ballesteros, the middle linebacker.
And again, Ballesteros, who's had himself quite a first half, said his name a few times. Just good pursuit there. So another timeout taken by the Warriors. So
last one of the quarter, last one of the half.
So again, about last night, it was such a great moment seeing Trevor and Bradley Stevens together, and Bradley out there congratulating them. And I didn't know that they had that close of a relationship. I talked to
big picture in the monitor this morning of them shaking hands.
I got to talk to both of them, and Trevor said, I've looked up to him since I was 5 years old. Our families are very close. And then Bradley, of course, we all know who went on to go play at Texas A&M. And as for Trevor, we still don't know where he's going to go. But boy, last night, Trevor Spates, if we didn't say it enough last week, we'll say it again tonight. He truly is something special. I actually asked my friend Joe Bolin, I said, how good is Trevor Spates? What are we seeing here? And he said he is a legit Division I prospect. His combine numbers are off the charts. And so it was a great thing that happened here last night with Trevor Spates passing Bradley Stevens. Loss
of 2 on that last play prior to the timeout. It's 2nd down and goal to go from the 4. And the ball is flipped in the end zone. Our touchdown pass, and it's Jose Chavez with the catch. We're talking about coming off that hamstring injury. Gets the touchdown pass from Jesus Perez. So, with a 4-minute drive, it is a touchdown for the home team Rowe. And again, it's got to be very motivational to get on the scoreboard against this team and get things going in the right direction. Again, a 4-yard touchdown pass on 4th down. And the point is up. And it's good. And again, it was Sanchez. Sanchez with the extra point attempt, also the touchdown pass. Jesus Sanchez wasn't a quarterback. Gets the extra point and also threw the touchdown pass. And again, it was a 4-yard touchdown pass to Jose Chavez. 24-6. And now they say the extra point is no good. Okay, originally it was signaled to be good, but now we see it as no good. So we'll take that off the board. 24-6 is the score, but still, to march down the field after falling behind 24-0, you get the ball to begin the second quarter and march down the field 4 minutes and 1 second and get a touchdown is a good moral victory for the home team. So far in this game, as far as the visitors, David Sanchez has a couple of touchdown receptions. Also, we see Jorge Murillo has a touchdown reception. All 3 two-point attempts were good by the Longhorns, and they lead 24-6. And again, Sanchez will squib kick it, hits it about the 45 of the visitors, and the Longhorns will fall on it and get it.
Why not take a shot there if you're the Warriors? Just try and get that lucky bounce.
That's right. It was recovered, though, I believe, by Aaron Campos. So it's going to be first down and 10. Longhorns get it at their own 32-yard line, and they are leading 24-6. Again, we have slots on right side, shotgun formation. One back lined up in the backfield next to Tellis. Tellis looking downfield, tries to get to Sanchez and overthrows him at about the 30-yard line. And back once again on defense is Rios. Busy man tonight.
Yeah, Tellis definitely had the time in the pocket to make that throw, just overshot his man. And going back to what I said about the defensive line for the Longhorns, they're doing the same thing on offense. Their offense is really controlling the line of scrimmage, giving their quarterback, Tellis, a lot of time to complete it to his receivers.
Slots on each side. Back in motion to the right, shotgun formation. This time it is Luna who he tries to dump the ball off to. Derek Luna, a little screen pass, but it is incomplete by Tellis.
Yeah, Tellis kind of jumping up and down there for a quick moment. He knew he had his man open on that screen pass. So it was intentional that they let the rushers get to him a couple seconds earlier.
It is third down and 10. Ball at the 37-yard line in Longhorn territory. Ball snapped back in the shotgun. And Tellis tries to get it downfield, gets it down near the first down marker, and it is going to be a first down, gets it to his receiver. And the receiver this time on that play is Daniel Reese. So just about a 10-yard pass. It is inside Rowe territory at the 48. First and 10. Comes up to the line quickly. This time delayed handoff. And a couple yards on that handoff. Inside handoff goes to number 32, Alex Villanueva. Gets about 2. Second down and 8. Ball at midfield. Quick dump off by the quarterback. And with the pass this time is Reese. Reese will get it into the territory of Rowe. Pick up a 4 on the play, so we have about third down, and we'll say about 5 coming up. Ball at the 47-yard line of the Warriors. Snap back. Couple feet or couple steps he drops back, gives it to Luna. Luna will get inside the 40, down to the 35-yard line, pickup of 12 on that play.
Yeah, he broke 2 tackles on that play, so a nice catch and run there from Luna, and again, just one of the many weapons that these Longhorns are showing off here tonight.
Officially 13 on the play, first and 10 at the 45. Faked handoff this time to Luna on the left side. He at the 30, and he will get down near about the 26-yard line, but there's a flag on the play. Rijos looked like he had him by the ankles after a 5-yard gain. He gets a few more, but there is a flag.
Yeah, Luna is really running angry, and the flag looks like going to be a holding going against the Longhorns, so that will negate that fine play from Luna. Luna's really running strong here in the second quarter. He had a good first quarter, and he's continuing it here in the second quarter, and also David Sanchez as well. So they're kind of really getting everybody involved here in this offense.
Roman Villarreal on the stop. Was that a personal foul?
The official signaled a holding call.
Holding, okay. So it's going to be 1st and 12 at the 37-yard line for the Longhorns. And long pass downfield to Sanchez. He's wide open. He got by his defender, Brandon Leal, who had the interception earlier in this game. But this time, Sanchez gets the touchdown. And it is now 30-6. And Sanchez has his 3rd touchdown of the night. Like I said, I believe earlier this season he had a 5-touchdown game. Again, he is the coach's son. And as they do each time, the Longhorns will go for the 2-point conversion. They connected on their previous attempts. Let's see if Tellis can find a receiver open. And this time does not. The 2-point conversion is no good. Wide receiver dive for the ball in the end zone. Reese couldn't quite get to the ball to make the reception. Daniel Reese, active night also for his team. So it is now 30-6 as both teams have missed their last extra point attempts. We are approaching the midpoint of the second quarter in this game so far. It is Sanchez with 3 touchdown receptions. Also, Mario with 1 for the visitors. And we see for Nikki Rowe, a 4-yard touchdown reception for Jose Chavez. That is the scoring so far.
Scott, I don't think I've ever seen a school that does not. It's really interesting, and I would like to ask, not in a rude way, but to say, what is the philosophy? Really like to know why. That's. I mean, hey, you're up.
Well, there's that one coach in high school that never punts, right? Have you ever seen that story?
Yeah. It's somewhat similar to the whole analytics thing in right. baseball, and how the percentages and the yardages play out. So, we'll see.
Kickoff coming from the 40, 3 backs, lined up around the 10-yard line. Ball will come down, and it's fumbled at about the 12. Running with the ball and getting taken inside the 20-yard line is Gus Salazar. One of the 3 backs back there for Nikki Rowe. Now remember, last time they had the ball, they kept it 4 minutes and 1 second, Kevin, and moved it all the field for a touchdown. This time they're going to have to move 81 yards, and should they do it this time, they'll probably use up most of the quarter unless it's long pass plays. Again, trying to be optimistic for the Warrior fans listening out there.
Definitely still got a lot of ball game left.
Good crowd here, by the way, for Nikki Rowe. A lot of people also coming over from Laredo. And tell us on the pass, the intended receiver that time was Adrian Burnell.
Sanchez is the quarterback.
It is Jesus Sanchez. Got to always check your program very carefully. They do rotate their quarterbacks here. Though Sanchez had the last series where they got the touchdown. 2nd down and 10 on the incomplete pass. Ball at the 19-yard line. Slot on the right. Trips on the left. Empty backfield. Sanchez gets the ball. He gets pressured, and he is going to be knocked down for about a 7 or 8 yard loss at the 11-yard line. Good gang tackling that time. Good pressure from the defense of the Longhorns.
Yeah, and again, they're really picking up where they left off on their previous drives, controlling the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, really. This first half, the Longhorns have really dominated from the word go. That's about a 3.5-hour drive from here to Laredo, just out west. Just hop on the expressway and head west. You'll get there.
Nice town. I've never been there.
It's been years. The farthest I've gone was Zapata.
Okay.
I have some family up there.
Gotcha.
Closest I've got to Laredo.
All right. It is 3rd down and 17 from the 12-yard line. And this time, Sanchez feels pressure, and he's going to be tackled down around the 7-yard line. And a nice play on that particular series.
Yeah, so it's going to be 4th and long. Head on. Eddie head on the sack there.
So Eddie Heron, we heard about him before the game, that he was a key defensive player and does a nice job. And it's going to be 4th down and 20 from the, we're going to say about the 6-yard line maybe. And this time it's going to be Sanchez punting about at his goal line, going from left to right, and gets it off at his goal line. And getting the ball at the 40-yard line, taking it down to the 30, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, and a tackle about the 3-yard line. Save that from being a touchdown. Nice run by David Sanchez. And there was a tackle by Gus Salazar, running back, on special teams. Made the tackle at about the 3. Actually, was it? It's maybe even closer, the 1-yard line. So Salazar with a touchdown saving tackle. Nice return of about 39 yards, that is.
Yeah, so they're going to spot this ball
Sanchez.
right at the 1-yard line. So that saves the special teams from scoring. Now the offense will try to. They got plenty of time. 4:20 left in the first half with 1 yard to go.
All right. Still a spread set, but it's going to be the running back getting the ball and taking it in. Alexis Villanueva, I believe. And we will now see the score go up to 36-6. So first rushing touchdown of the night for the visitors, but you can't blame them with the ball at the 1-yard line. Again, going for the 2-point conversion. Quarterback will throw the ball to Sanchez, and he gets by Rios, and Sanchez will get the 2-point conversion. So it is now 38-6. Longhorns leading. We have 4:15 remaining in the opening half. We are broadcasting from McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium along with Kevin Naro. I'm Scott Harrison. I want to thank Jake Berry for coming in tonight, getting everything set up for us. Also want to thank our sponsors, Merriam Garrett Insurance, Allstate Insurance, with locations in Weslaco and McAllen. Also McDonald's, I'm loving it. Could go for a Big Mac right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, folks, again, if you're on the social media, you can follow 956 Sports on Twitter at 956 Sports. You can like us on Facebook, 956 Sports. And, of course, you can always check out the website at 956sports.com for all the in-depth coverage of Valley High School football and much more. And, of course, Tony Farina somewhere around here.
Yeah, Tony Farina, our buddy.
He's here patrolling somewhere. I think he's down there with Jake, and Jake is here. And Carlos is out in Weslaco. So it's a busy night, Friday night here in the Rio Grande Valley.
And already an hour. We said this was going to be a long game. Usually we'd be at halftime by now, but we've gone an hour since kickoff. And again, 3 backs back around the 10-yard line. And it is picked up, it looks like, by Salazar. Salazar will get it about the 28-yard line. So that is where the team will start this time, the Warriors. J.J. Salas in on the special teams tackle. First down and 10 at the 28-yard line. And how tired do you think the defense is getting right now for Nikki Rowe?
They got to be a little bit gassed. They've been out there, I mentioned majority of the first quarter. But I think what's working in their favor is that United scores so quickly. They're not out there for so long. Back
in motion. Salazar toward the left side. Lines up in the slot. So now we have slots on each side. Empty backfield. Sanchez still a quarterback. Dumps it off on the screen. And this time it looks like the back is going to keep going. A lot of lateral running. And finally turns it upfield. And we'll get down near midfield. Nice pickup of about 22 yards. But there's flags on the play.
Yeah.
A lot of lateral pursuit. Back looked like he was going to be knocked down for a loss, and then after gets the ball and gets down to midfield. Yeah, that was Hector Ramirez on the reception. A lot of east and west, and your coaches will tell you, boys, never run east and west, and all that's going to be negated by a block in the back, I think. And we had seen that from up here. As soon as I saw the flag come down, I was like, oh, boy, this one's going to be coming back, and Ramirez is going to need to catch his breath after that one. Nonetheless, a great run, and he really showed off some athleticism. And who had the last run? Oh, it was Ramirez on that run. Okay, yeah, I thought so.
So
all right, yeah, nice
run. He's starting to get more involved. But again, the coaches will tell you, kids, don't run east and west.
Mm-hmm. All right, the ball is back to the 17-yard line as the result of actually down to the 23-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 17 as a result of the penalty. Sanchez still in a quarterback. Starts scrambling toward his right, gets by a couple tacklers, and will get down to the 35-yard line before he goes down. So a nice pickup on that play of about 12 yards. And among those in on the tackle on that play, and we're trying to see their number. Don't see it on the roster, but
3:31 left.
Rene Perez.
3:31 left here in the opening half, so the Warriors trying to get something going.
2nd down and 3. And this time, ball is going to be moved upfield. Jose Chavez. We'll see where they mark it. Rodriguez in on the stop. Gain of 1 on the play. 3rd down and 3 coming up. Clock moving. 3 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Ball snapped back, quarterback keeper, and he is going to get nowhere. Sanchez gets to the line of scrimmage, and there are several people waiting for him.
And that was on 3rd down, so that was a big play defensively there for the Longhorns. They're going to get this football back with 2:41 left in this second quarter, and I have no doubt that they will try and tack on some more points before the half.
All right, Robert Easton, defensive end, among those in on the tackle. Loss of 1 on the play. So it's going to be 4th down. Maybe a long 3. Ball at the 35-yard line of Nikki Rowe. And Sanchez gets the punt off. It will come down to about the 35-yard line. David Sanchez gets it up to the 45. About the 50, where he's knocked out of bounds. So it gets about 15 on the return. And it's going to be 1st and 10 midfield for the Longhorns. Only 2:08 remaining here in the first half. They lead 38-6, but Kevin, as explosive as they are, they definitely have a 2-minute drill.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the part of the game where your coaches love, to where they can kind of open up their playbook and try different things in a 2-minute offense.
Okay, ball officially marked at the Longhorn 49-yard line. They are moving toward the north side of the field from our right to left. And Tellis dumps it off on the screen, and this time Luna does not get much at all. Knocked down for no gain. Derek Luna on the reception from Ignacio Tellis.
These Longhorns are part of that 29 6A district out west.
Frank Delgado among those in on the tackle. Another screen pass. Sanchez is going to be knocked down very quickly. Maybe a 1-yard gain. So not much going with those screens this time. Warriors are sniffing it out. And this time, Delgado, a junior linebacker. So it's going to be 3rd down. Looks like about 10 yards at midfield. Clock running, 1:18 remaining. Again, a screen pass out to Luna. Luna had a little bit of running room, but he was trying to turn upfield before he had the ball in his grasp, drops it. So it's 3rd and 10. So you got a couple plays that gain no yards, and then one that gains nothing with an incomplete pass. Excellent defense, something to take into the locker room. That is, of course, if you're a Warrior fan. 4th down. Again, they'll go for it. Tellis tries to get it down over there on the left side, gets it to Sanchez, and he gets by Rios, and he is going to get the 1st down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line, and the ball is fumbled.
They're going to say he was down, but Sanchez with a couple of nice spin moves.
Yes, and on that carry, did a very, very nice job, and looks like he got about 30 yards maybe. 28. Called officially 28 for Sanchez, and he's got to be approaching 100 yards in receptions tonight. Tellis looks downfield and will get it over there in the right corner. Is it a touchdown? Yes. 16-yard touchdown pass, and this time it is Chris Cardenas. No, excuse me, Daniel Reese. Daniel Reese on the touchdown. So Daniel Reese gets his first touchdown of the night. And that makes it 44-6. Longhorns again going for 2 points. And this time it is intercepted. And we'll see if the player Rios can bring it upfield. He's got it. Intercepted in the end zone. He's got it to midfield. He's got it to the 45, 40, 30. He's down to the 25, and he is tackled from behind finally by Isaac Velasquez. Isaac Velasquez at about the 22-yard line. So Rios, nice job. Intercepts it in the end zone. Takes it down about 80 yards, but there is a flag on the play. So we'll have to see who the penalty's on. Flag on the play again. 44-6 is the score. Officials conferring right now. And what a nice play by Rios if it stands up. Again, the officials are conferring with the coaches. We haven't got an official signal yet. 2-point conversion, no good, obviously. Okay, Kevin. Now, was he allowed to return that? Again, I don't know all the high school rules entirely, and
Whenever they go for two or they try and kick the extra point, if it's intercepted, if it's fumbled, the ball is live, and the defending team can take it back.
Then
for
why
2 points.
Why are they kicking off now, though?
Well, because there was a penalty, so it's like a dead ball. The play's over, and then you get onto the kickoff.
I got you.
So,
all right.
So yeah, it's the same way in college.
All right.
You know, he would have taken that back to the end
so
zone.
there was a penalty against McAllen, and that negates the return by Rios.
Theoretically, he would have scored, it would have been 2 points. Nikki
and I think it probably was an illegal block somewhere.
On a play like that, illegal blocks usually
it looked like
happen.
So it was an illegal block. Yeah, we have that confirmed, I believe. So, all right. So Emmanuel Vasquez getting to kick off the ball at his own 40. And the ball will be picked up this time by Marino. Marino will take it down to the 25. Gets down to about the 27.
Halftime score, Port Isabel leads Valley View 7-0. Mm-hmm. That one shaping up to be an old-fashioned defensive battle. Port Isabel, Scott, you'll learn to see over the years that Port Isabel is always one of those last teams standing in the Valley. They recently made the jump from 3A to 4A, but a lot of stories we could tell you with those Coach Monty Stumball and his Tarpons.
Cool. All right, correction, Salazar on that return. Ball at the 27-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10. Only 43 seconds remaining. No timeouts remaining for the Warriors. They used them up a long time ago, and they may be just getting ready to head to the locker room and get a breather. Handoff on that play. Not much yardage. Inside handoff. And again, not much at that time. Gus Salazar on the carry. Clock running. We'll see if they even get another play off. Gain of 2 officially on the play. So it's going to be 2nd down and 8 at the 29-yard line of Nikki Rowe. And they seem in no hurry to do anything else. You can't blame them right now. It's a good time to regroup, I believe, if you are the Warriors. And the clock will tick down the final seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So there it is. We are going to go to halftime right now. And it is the United Laredo Longhorns leading 44-6 over the host team, the Nikki Rowe Warriors. A lot of scoring. We'll talk more about that after halftime. But, Kevin, just a quick reflection on this first half.
Yeah, the Longhorns came in and did exactly what they thought. They utilized Luna. They used David Sanchez a lot. So just a tremendous first half for these Longhorns.
All right. We are going to go to halftime again. 44-6 lead. Longhorns over the Warriors. Along with Kevin Naro, I'm Scott Harrison. You're listening to the 956sports.com Game of the Week, brought to you by Miriam Guerra Allstate Insurance, with locations in Weslaco and McAllen. Also, McDonald's. I'm loving it. We'll be back in just a little bit with your second half action from McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. And we're getting ready for the second half of football. We're here at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Along with Kevin Naro, I'm Scott Harrison. Jake Berry producing our show tonight. We do appreciate it. And, of course, our broadcast brought to you by Miriam Guerra Insurance, Allstate Insurance, with locations in Weslaco and McAllen, and McDonald's. I'm loving it. And, of course, if you're a Longhorns fan, you have to be loving it because they are leading Nikki Rowe right now 44-6. It is Laredo United with the big lead. Of course, they've got that big passing attack, and they've been doing the job. David Sanchez, 3 touchdown receptions so far, the top receiver for the Longhorns. Jorge Murillo, he has 1 touchdown reception. Alexis Villanueva, he has a touchdown rush, and Daniel Ruiz has a touchdown reception. So according to my statistics, 5 touchdown passes so far in the game for Ignacio Teles. And meanwhile, for the home team, we see that we have 1 touchdown so far in the game, and that was on a pass going to Jose Chavez. His first game of the year has had a hamstring problem. Running back out of the backfield, got a 4-yard touchdown pass from Jesus Sanchez. So far on the night, 4 out of 6 on 2-point conversions for the home team. They've done a real good job on that. The 1 extra point attempted by Jesus Sanchez, a kick was no good. So again, we're at halftime. Longhorns leading 44-6. And Kevin, your reflections on the first half.
Yeah, this Laredo United team is very good, and then coming out of the district that they're in the 29 6A district, name a couple teams: Del Rio United South, Eagle Pass, Laredo Alexander, Corpus Christi Carroll. So they're going to have a pretty tough district coming up ahead, but I think they're ready. Last year they lost, like I mentioned, in the 3rd round to Converts Judson, and they squeaked past Weslaco in that area round up in San Antonio. But from what I remember seeing them last year to this year, they took all the right steps forward. They have a very high-octane offense. They can score a lot of points, and it's very scary for opposing defenses when you got guys like Luna and Sanchez that can both put points up on the board, and you just don't know who to defend. So it's going to cause a lot of problems for those teams that I just mentioned when they start their district play next week. And, of course, this is the last non-district game for both schools, and Laredo United is actually looking for their first undefeated non-district season since 2011. So a little bit of a milestone for the Longhorns here tonight if they were able to hold on and win.
Mm-hmm. And David Sanchez, he likes coming here. He's the coach's son. He likes coming to the McAllen area. He had 13 catches for 199 yards and 5 touchdowns in the win over Sherryland, and that was a big night for him. On that night also, Tellez threw for 8 touchdown passes. He was 40 of 59 for 400 yards, and we mentioned this early in the game if you're just tuning in that game against Sherryland. It marked only the 29th time in the history of Texas high school football a player has thrown 8 touchdown passes or more in a game. He's definitely on the way to doing that tonight, Kevin. 5 already. Some
updated scores at the half. Mission Veterans leads PSJ North 29-17 in the 3rd quarter. Brownsville St. Joseph leads Far Oratory 62-0. At halftime, you Laredo folks, Sherryland and Laredo Alexander are all tied at 7 apiece. That's something we really haven't become accustomed to seeing. Mission Eagles lead the Edinburgh Bobcats 35-0. Corpus Christi Carroll 40, McAllen 0. That's also at halftime. Roma 24, La Jolla Palm Beach 14, also a halftime score. Juarez Lincoln 10, Edinburgh Economides 6. That game also at the halfway point. The Sugar Bowl, the other game that John Cannon is at, the big game here in the Valley. La Villa 27, Santa Rosa 19. That game is also at halftime. So, and then, of course, 44-6 here at halftime with the Longhorns leading to the Warriors.
And Emmanuel Vasquez is going to kick off to our left to the north side of the field. Gus Salazar, Joseph Marino, and Hector Vasquez are back there to get the kickoff, and it's fumbled near the goal line. Looks like it has been recovered by the Longhorns. So things are going very bad early for the home team. And it is the Longhorns officially getting the ball on the fumble on the kickoff. And that is a tough break. So it'll be 1st and goal to go for the Longhorns at about the 5-yard line maybe. of the Nikki
inside.
Rowe Warriors.
Yeah, it's going to be right at the 5. Moreno just trying to do too much.
Yeah, it was Moreno, I believe, wasn't it, that fumbled it?
On that second effort is when he got stripped of the ball. And, again, just the Longhorns picking up right where they left off in that first half.
Joseph Marino on the fumble. Remember, had a couple touchdowns in the victory over Mercedes in overtime, so not good right now, but he's had a good season overall, it looks like. And Tellis right away on the first pass from scrimmage finds a back in the back of the end zone, and that is Sanchez for the touchdown. Sanchez has his 4th touchdown reception of the night. And remember, he had 5 against Sherryland, so he has another touchdown reception. And Tellis, I believe that is 6 touchdown passes on the evening for him. They are just putting the numbers on the board. They are now up 50-6, only 15 seconds here into the second half. Again, the 2-point conversion, but this time there is nobody open. Tellis looking for somebody open. And on the tackle that time for Nikki Rowe is Alex Juarez, a senior linebacker. So although they've done good on the 2-point conversions tonight, they do it every time. They are now 4 out of 7 on 2-point conversions on the night. That is the visiting team, the Longhorns. And again, they recover that fumble on the opening kickoff. And it's about a 4 or 5 yard pass to Sanchez on the first play from scrimmage. And it's 50-6.
So again, if you're on the social media, you can like us on Twitter at 956sports. Give us a follow there, and you can also like us on Facebook, 956sports as well. And you can also check out the website, 956sports.com.
And do you think these teams want to play each other anymore? Last year, Laredo United won 65-16. So
they're on their well on their way to match that score from last year.
Talking to the coaches at Nikki Rowe, they knew this was going to be a tough game. They expected to see some points put up there tonight. All right, kickoff once again goes back. Looks like it is Vasquez maybe that has it. We'll see in a second. Knocked down around the 25-yard line.
That was Adrian Bernal.
Okay, Adrian Bernal put in there this time. So a change in one of the deep backs for the kickoff. Bernal's seen some action tonight. He's only a sophomore. And the ball will be at the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. And this time the quarterback is John Perez, who started the game. I would say Jesus Sanchez has seen most of the action, also the punter and kicker. But this time Perez back in there for a series. Looks downfield and tries to get it to his receiver, but he is hammered just as he gets his hands on the ball. I believe it's Rodel Garcia. He's rocked.
Yeah, Emmanuel Vasquez, one of the guys back there. And that play just so close to being intercepted on the L tip drill.
It is 2nd down and 10, ball at the 24-yard line. And pass by Perez again, this time over on the left side. And a very short gain, Hector Vasquez on the reception.
Yeah, that was a big hit from Robert Easton.
Yeah, we've seen Easton make a couple hits tonight. Defensive lineman.
He's going to get a sticker on the back of his helmet when they watch that in the film room.
2nd down and 9, gain of 1 on the play. Ball at the 24-yard line here in the 3rd quarter. We see Rowe going from our left to the right. They are heading toward the north end zone. They are in their green jerseys with the white numerals and white helmets, white pants. Again, 2nd down and 8, shotgun formation. And Perez will keep it. He'll get up to the 30. He'll get up to the 35. He's got the 1st down by about 2 yards. So nice run on that play. And coming up with a tackle, it's number 55.
That's Carlos Sepulveda.
Gain of 7 on the play.
Making the tackle.
1st down and 10. Again, shotgun formation, pressure, and the quarterback steps up and gets away from an ankle tackle, but then is finally driven back. And this will be not much gain or a loss. Good defensive line work. Clock running, 90 seconds into the 3rd quarter. We've already seen a lot of action, Kevin. Not much scoring, but a lot happening on the field.
Yeah, a lot of
there was 1 touchdown.
Yeah, a lot of hard hitting coming from this defense, from the Longhorns coming up.
So it's going to be a loss. 2nd down and 13 from the 33. Loss of 3 on the play. Again, quarterback scrambling, and he is going to be knocked down at the 20-yard line. A big tackle out there coming up by number 43.
Eddie head on again on that sack.
Eddie's another top defensive player. We've heard his name before the game. Defensive end, just a junior. So it will be third down coming up. Going to be third down and long, ball back at the 20. Third down and 24. This time up the middle of the field, and it's going to be a first down. Ball over the 50, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and going all the way for the touchdown. It is a touchdown of 76 yards on that play, and congratulations to Gus Salazar. Big touchdown reception, Kevin.
Yeah, that was a nice play. We came over the middle. No fear of getting hit, too. And that's what this Nikki Rowe offense possesses. You know, we mentioned about the speed on the outside and their wide receivers. There is a flag on the 15-yard line.
All right. But Gus just went to the middle, got the ball about near midfield, and then it just went down toward the near sideline over there on the right side and took it all the way. Now, do we have a penalty against
Yeah, I think this one's
Nikki Rowe? No touchdown.
Yeah, this one's going to come back. That's a bad break there for the Warriors.
All right. I would think it's probably a
block in the back.
Yeah, block in the back.
They finally get the big play that they've been looking for all night, and it's wiped away by a penalty.
Gus Salazar had a 2-yard touchdown run, the only touchdown of the night for Rowe when they lost to Ed Couch Elsa 21-14. Again, still in there at quarterback is Perez, and this time his pass attempt is incomplete, and I believe it was Eric Amaya that he was looking for.
He was looking for Jose Chavez, actually.
Oh, Jose Chavez?
Number 20,
Okay.
yeah,
I thought it was 28, sorry. It was actually 20. And Chavez coming out on this play, or actually, let's see, is he going to stay in? No, he's going to move over there now as a receiver at the far right. Slots on each side. And keeping the ball, once again, is Perez, and Perez is going to be spun down at the 20-yard line, gain of about 5 on the play.
And again, Easton there bringing him down.
So it's going to be 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5 at the 20. Easton, very active. He's got some good skills out there. He's a very athletic defensive player. Clock moving, 8:30 remaining here in the third quarter. Again, signals barked out by Perez. Looking downfield, has a receiver open. It looked like it was Joseph Marino down near the goal line on the right side, near sideline, but the pass was incomplete. Kevin, was that just a badly thrown ball? Back there defending, by the way, there was J.J. Salas.
There's going to be a roughing the passer going against.
Maybe that's the reason why it was a badly thrown ball.
Roughing the passer, so that's going to be 15-plus for Nikki Rowe, so that penalty going against the Longhorns. And, yeah, he was looking for his man, Joseph Moreno, so that roughing the passer could have had something to do with that pass being offline.
So we'll see exactly where they mark it. It was 3rd and 5 at the 20-yard line of the Longhorns. And the ball will move down to the 10. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 10. 8:25 remaining third quarter. Longhorns up over the Warriors 50-6. This time, keeping the ball after faking the handoff out of the shotgun is Perez, but he's not going to get much at all, maybe a yard on the play. Didn't fool anybody on that play as far as the defense, but there is a player down. And again, one thing, the players have been pretty good shape in this game. Even with the heat and everything, we haven't seen cramps or much of anything as far as any type of injuries.
So to recap you from last night's action, Edinburgh Vela beat PSJ Memorial 55-14. Westlaco East took down La Jolla 52-0. And in the big game here at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium, McAllen Memorial all over Edinburgh North 55-20. So the Mustangs will prepare for their district opener against La Jolla, the 36A district. Meanwhile, Nikki Rowe will prepare for Juarez Lincoln as they too get ready for their district play. So of course, McAllen Memorial and Nikki Rowe in the same district. You got the 3 McAllen schools, also Mac High. The Bulldogs, they're one of the 3 schools here that all share this stadium here at.
And it looks great. They did remodeling of it in the
they
off season. Field looks great. There was a lot of rain last week, and they were still able to play a game the day after. And again, the player's still down, being helped up. And the player coming off the field, people giving him a nice hand, is Jonathan Garza, a senior offensive lineman, is walking off under his own power, which we are glad to see. So, again, that is why there has been a delay. It's going to be second down and goal to go at the 9-yard line of the Longhorns. Score is 50-6. But one thing you like, even though there was that quick turnover, led to the quick touchdown for the Longhorns to begin the second half, one thing you like, Kevin, Rowe has not given up. Coach Reyes has them still moving ahead, still motivated, and that's a sign of a quality team. Clock is moving once again. And keeping the ball after the snap in the shotgun is the quarterback, and he is going to go all the way for the touchdown. Nice play by John Perez. Takes the ball 9 yards for the touchdown. Extra point attempt will be coming up. And again, we were just talking about the tenacity, the no quit in Nikki Rowe. And we just saw that from Perez on the touchdown run. So now the other quarterback who's played tonight will come in and attempt the extra point. Jesus Sanchez, I believe. He did earlier. We'll double check. Extra point is up, and it is good, and it is Sanchez. He missed his earlier extra point attempt trying to kick the ball. As we mentioned earlier, when it comes to the visitors, they always go just for 2-point conversions. They're 4 out of 7 tonight. But with the extra point attempt being good, it's now 50-13. The Longhorns lead the Warriors with 7:42 remaining here in the third quarter. And Kevin, you've been talking about all these non-district games. Any surprises? Obviously, we knew that Trevor Spates was going to break that record eventually if he stayed healthy. I guess to me, I didn't think he'd break it quite as quick as he did. I mean, he's on pace maybe to get 3,000 yards this season. And if he gets a certain number over 3,000, that would be the best season ever for a Valley rusher.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think they had him projected to break the record about midway, maybe about 2 more games in. But just the pace that he's on, last week we saw him against, was it San Benito? He had 373.
Yeah.
And then last night he
had
the
first 2 games, he was around 250, I think.
244 the first game against Cherryland.
I think, and maybe 242 the next one. I'm just doing that off the top of my head. But he was well over 200 in both the first 2 games, and then the 373 game, and then the record breaker last night. So, all right, squib kick coming up from Sanchez, and they've got the hands team out there, and defensive back, Derek Luna, receiver, gets the ball at the 40-yard line of the Longhorns where they'll start 1st and 10. Derek Luna has impressed me tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and he was their go-to guy, him and David Sanchez, and those are those 2 weapons that the Longhorns love to use in this offense, and they're an air raid offense. They like to sling it around. They like to go those quick screens. They will go into the flats, and then they'll go deep. But, yeah, Luna came into this ball game with 1 touchdown. He led the team in all-purpose yards with 362 yards and 42 catches coming into tonight.
3 wideouts on the right side, 1 back in the backfield, and he will get it out of the shotgun formation, and he is going to go down after about a 5-yard gain. And carrying the ball on that play is Isaac Velasquez. We haven't seen him run the ball too much tonight, but we heard that he might, and he does on that play. So he is going to get about 4 on that play. We'll call it second down and 6, and gets the ball once again. And this time we'll get down near the 50-yard line, close to a first down. Needed about 6. Looks like he got it. So maybe they're going to run the clock a little bit.
Yeah, just maybe, and again, this is a team that coming into this ball game, they average, 5.8 yards a carry, 179 yards a game. So they can run it too.
Ball at midfield, 1st and 10. This time a pass. And the pass will go to the right side, and it's incomplete, I believe.
Yeah,
but the thing I was looking at was that David Sanchez was a quarterback. Sanchez can play quarterback. We've seen how he does receptions, but also can play quarterback.
That's really just an extended run there, those quick screen passes to the outside. Fortunate for the Longhorns, it wasn't behind the line of scrimmage. It would have been a backwards.
Lateral, right?
Yeah, lateral. So.
So Sanchez in a quarterback. This is the first he's worked at tonight. And it's 2nd and 10 at the 50. on the incomplete pass. High snap that time, but he gets it off, and the ball will be picked up at the 50-yard line, and it goes to the 40, 35, 30. It's going to be to the 20, 15, and falling down inside the 10-yard line this time is the running back, Isaac Velasquez.
So Velasquez really showing off the speed there. Really outran 3 or 4 Rowe defenders until the last man was there to grab him by his shoelace, really.
Gain of 44 yards on that pass. So Sanchez is doing a nice job passing, at least statistically. 1 out of 2 for 46 yards. And this time we'll hand it off once again. And spinning around near the left side, going toward the middle, and finally picking up maybe 1 yard is Velasquez. A lot of work for not much yardage. Going to be second down. It was first down and goal to go at the 6. Second down and goal to go at the 4. We'll give them 2.
Yeah, and they're looking really impressive on the ground game as well.
They said maybe we should work on it a little bit. Who knows? We may need it sometime this season if our passing game gets stuffed against an opponent, especially getting ready for districts. All right, bad snap. It's fumbled. A lot of players diving for it. Sanchez really never got control of it. Ball is down at about the 7. Not sure who finally landed on it, but it appears that the Longhorns kept it.
Yeah, going back to your point, Scott, that's one big thing that Valley schools have. A lot of the teams that run the football, a lot of guys in the media say, well, you need to throw the ball more. Because once you get into the playoffs, you're going to meet up teams, like San Antonio Reagan, Cibolo Steel, where the teams like to throw the ball a lot.
Okay. Sanchez out of the shotgun, tries to dump it off, and it's intercepted. And taking the ball to the 30, 35, 40-yard line, and knocked out finally on that play is Alex Juarez, a senior linebacker. So nice job by Juarez anticipating the play over there on the right flat and getting the interception.
It's a nice interception there from Juarez. Just a good read on the defensive side of the ball. So yeah, Scott, that's one thing that a lot of people look at and say, teams have to learn how to throw the football, because it plagues them eventually in the playoffs. And the same thing goes with Laredo United. And it's funny because last year, we know Weslaco, they love to run the football, but in the second half of that ball game against United, Weslaco started slinging the ball around, and United didn't know where to go with it. So the Weslaco Panthers, they did surprise some people last year in the playoffs when they decided to throw the ball.
First and 10 at the 33. Perez still in there, and he'll drop off a little screen pass, and it's going to get some yards. It's going to get a first down at the 45, 40, 35, 30. Finally run out of bounds near the 30-yard line is Joseph Moreno.
Wow, Moreno with some nice footwork there. Looked like he was going to get tackled his first time around, but he made multiple defenders miss, and that nice juke on the near side of the field.
So the pickup is about maybe 38 yards, something like that. And it is going to be first and 10 in Longhorn territory at the 29-yard line. And this time out of the shotgun, snap back to Perez, and he is going to take it down near the 15-yard line. So nice quarterback keeper, and on that gain, a pickup of about 15 yards. John Perez.
A nice little drive here from the Warriors, looking to capitalize on the interception.
First and 10 Warriors, ball officially marked at the 16-yard line of the Longhorns. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and bobbled snap out of the shotgun. Perez just trying to get rid of it so that there wouldn't be a fumble, and he tries to send the ball over to Jose Chavez on the right side. Pass is short, and it'll be second down and 16. Little miscue between the center and quarterback on that particular play. We don't see too many of those tonight, have we, Kevin? Not too many bad snaps on either team. Man in motion, Chavez toward the right side, running back, and throwing it upfield for the touchdown. 16 yards is Perez. And so all of a sudden, Nikki Rowe coming to life a little bit, and on that touchdown reception, Hector Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez really just running up the seam. And again, finding a soft spot in the defense. Rowe able to capitalize on that interception, so.
That's right. So it is now 50-19. 4:40, and no quit in the Warriors. Extra point is up, and it is good. Extra point again, done by the backup quarterback, Jesus Sanchez, who has played quarterback a lot tonight, but it looks like right now the hot hand is with the starter, John Perez, and he may stay in for a while. We'll see. But it is now 50-20. Longhorns leading, 4:40 remaining. And I'll tell you what, except for the miscue on the first play, the Longhorns have not scored yet, have they, Kevin, here in the second half? So at least a moral victory for Nikki Rowe. They haven't given up. They've outscored the Longhorns here in the third quarter. You know, and I know this. People might say, well, yeah, but look at the overall score. But still, you know, it is a 60-minute game if it's obviously pros. At this level, it's 48. And you got to play the whole game because you do have district coming up. Yeah. And that is when things really, really count. And you don't want to come into district having a really, really lackadaisical, am I saying that word right? Lackadaisical performance.
Yeah, no,
close enough, right?
You definitely want to go into district play with some momentum. And like I said, for both teams at this stage of the game, this is when you can kind of explore your playbook on offense. Mm-hmm. You can try things you normally don't try in a normal game setting. But again, what we saw there is what the Warriors can possess, all the athleticism.
Squib kick once again. And this time, picking up the ball near midfield, Kevin Esperanza. And he's a junior receiver, also can play quarterback. And the ball will be picked up near the 47-yard line of the Longhorns. They're wearing their uniforms tonight, orange pants, white jerseys, orange numerals, and orange helmets.
Some updated scores. Edinburgh Economides leads La Jolla Juarez Lincoln 20-10 in the third quarter. We'll get you more scores after this play here.
All right. We see a quarterback. It's still Sanchez, coach's son, tries to throw downfield and overthrows his intended receiver, Daniel Ruiz, who already has a touchdown reception tonight near the 20-yard line.
Pioneer leads La Feria 14-7 at halftime. Port Isabel has a 14-0 lead over Valley View in the third quarter. Rio Hondo 23, Hidalgo nothing there at halftime. Mission Veterans 29, PSJ North 17. That game also at halftime as well. So again, we'll keep you up to date with scores from around the valley as the games progress here on this Friday night.
Second down and 10, 47-yard line. Longhorns did some running the last drive, but now back to mostly passing again. And the ball is dumped off in the center of the field near midfield and taken down near the 40-yard line. And on that play, Chris Salinas, he's got several receptions tonight, just a sophomore. Ball will be at the 41-yard line. First and 10 for the Longhorns. A lot of offensive weapons. A lot of receivers who can catch. Ball will be handed off again. And this time a short gain up the middle. It is Isaac Velasquez. And he will get the ball inside the 40 to about the 38. Pickup of about 3 on first down. So it's going to be second down. Actually, they'll give him a couple more yards. So second down and 5. Ball at the 37-yard line. Under 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Ball in Rowe territory. Sanchez looks downfield, lofts a long pass, and the pass is over his receiver.
I think they're going to get a passing interference call on Jonathan Benya, the wide receiver on that far side. They may get him for a hold, though. I'm not sure.
Yep.
A hold or a passing interference. It's going to be one or the other, but I think this one's going against the Warriors.
Yeah, ball was over his head, but again, maybe the reason he couldn't get to it, like you said,
Will
Kevin.
Scott, was it catchable?
Well, it didn't look like it.
So that should negate the penalty then.
But maybe he was holding him, and that's what they feel. Because he held him, that's why he couldn't get to it. And that's what we have the officials for. They know more than I do. And by the way, the intended receiver on this play, I believe, was Jorge Moreo, who also has a touchdown reception in the game. So we'll see where they mark it. All right, third down and 6 at the 37. Maybe no penalty after all. Sanchez with the ball keeps it. This time there will be a penalty, and he is going to get down near the 30-yard line. But again, a penalty on the play. He was very close to the first down, running around the left side. It's going to be holding.
Yeah, the flag's right around the line of scrimmage, and that usually indicates a holding. And it is a hold against the Longhorns. So again, we can go and talk with the La Jolla coaches after the ball game, and we can say Coach Sanchez, what'd you see in your team tonight? And he'll say, we did get the win, but there's a lot of little mistakes that we need to correct. Penalties being one of them. Throwing in an interception is another. So there's always things you can correct, even though when your team's winning by 30, 40 points.
And let me also say they've got his son at quarterback, and no reflection on that. But the top quarterback on the team, the guy that's thrown 8 touchdowns against Sherryland, had 5, I think, tonight. Ignacio Tellez is not in there right now. And that has to affect the rhythm. But it's good that, you have your backups getting experience. And again, another flag as Sanchez will throw it downfield. And he tried to get it to his receiver. No good. But again, a flag. It was Daniel Ruiz, the intended receiver.
That's going to be that old free play that the offense is going to get in offsides. And again, usually, when it's a false start, they'll blow the play dead. Some officials, I think we saw this last week, we were talking about it. Some officials will let the play go, give it the free play. You can throw it deep, or sometimes the officials will go ahead and blow the play dead. But this time they let the play run out. Free play either way.
I think it was, offsides?
Yeah, it was an offsides against the Warriors. No harm, no foul if you're the Longhorns.
All right, 3rd down and 11. Ball at the 42-yard line. Sanchez out of the shotgun, gets it, gets the ball ahead to his running back, and the ball will go down to about the 27-yard line. Looks like a fumble out there. Fumble. And we'll see. Was it recovered by
Yeah, it was
Rowe?
recovered. Yeah, the Longhorns were able to recover that one.
Okay. Isaac Velasquez was the receiver.
Yeah, Eddie Dominguez was the man who fell on the loose football. So, and again, these are those little things that it's going to stand out to Coach Sanchez when you go back into the film room.
Well, it's now a 1st down after all that. 1st down and 10 at the 28-yard line. Sanchez tries to throw the ball upfield and does find his receiver open at the 20-yard line. It was Chris Cardenas. I believe that's his 2nd reception of the night. Ball was at the 28, gets down to about the 18, so 10 yards on that pass reception.
Well, George Murillo was running a crossing route, and he stuck his hand out as if he threw it behind him, so I don't think that pass was intended for Murillo. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication there on his part.
All right, again, a running play down to about the 15-yard line, and in on that play, number 23, Isaac Velasquez. He's doing the running now. Obviously, Alexis Villanueva got over 500 yards at least this season. He started out, had 1 touchdown tonight, but looks like he's being rested so far in the second half. It's going to be 2nd down and 6, gain of 4, ball at the 14-yard line of Nikki Rowe, moving toward the south end zone, or north end zone, I should say. And this time, pass is off the fingertips of the receiver right there at the goal line. Intended receiver, Jorge Murillo.
We have an updated score, and what a game this is over at Bobby Lackey Stadium. Brian Guetta takes it 96 yards to the house to put Weslaco ahead of Harlingen 14-13 with 4 minutes left in the 4th quarter. So that game, pretty good one. Manny Gomez always has his Cardinals ready.
Again, shotgun. Slots on each side. Sanchez, the quarterback. Now he'll keep it. Goes around the right side. He's going to get the 1st down at the 5, near the goal line. Let's see if he got knocked out. And it is a touchdown. So Sanchez, after getting, I believe, 3 touchdown receptions, now gets 1 on the ground running as quarterback. And that is the 2nd touchdown now of the second half for the Longhorns with 1:55 remaining. Sanchez on the quarterback keeper goes 14 yards. And we'll see if he stays in to do the 2-point attempt. I'm sure he will. 56-20 is the score. Nikki Rowe's fans, a lot have stayed here. Still a very good crowd. Credit to them. And Sanchez gets the ball, has a wide out, wide open at the goal line, and the ball goes over to Chris Cardenas. So Cardenas will complete the 2-point conversion. And again, in the top of my head, Kevin, I believe it's 5 out of 8 2-point conversions they've completed so far tonight, making it 58-20. Remember, last year against Nikki Rowe, scored 65 points, but Nikki Rowe has scored more points than they did last year. I think they had 16, something like that last year. So they've done offensively better this year against the Longhorns than they did last year.
In the 4th quarter, Alexander leads Sherryland 14-10. That's an updated score.
All right.
They're playing over at Laredo, but that Weslaco Harlingen game, it could, the 31-6A meeting, the 32-6A, and Harlingen has really surprised a lot of people. A lot of people thought maybe they may have somewhat of a down year. They could make the playoffs, but I think they're better than a lot of people think. The Harlingen Cardinals, they do have a lot of speed on defense. Their secondary is very, very good. And then, of course, you and I saw Weslaco a couple of years ago, so we know Weslaco is good. So two of the really better teams in the Valley duking it out over there at Bobby Lackey Stadium.
I'll never forget my go and see Donna and Weslaco. Maybe next year we can see him at Lackey Stadium, right?
Yeah,
they'll be there next year. Weslaco will probably host the game next year, I would assume, since Donna hosted it this year.
Yeah, this was our third week. Last week we had San Benito and McAllen Memorial.
It was actually, I guess, our first week of doing games, but it was the second week of the season.
Yeah.
But our first week doing the 956.com Game of the Week and loving every minute of it. So getting ready to kick off once again, Emmanuel Vasquez, also a free safety, a senior. And the ball will come down to Gus Salazar. And Salazar will get it around the 25-yard line. Tackled on that play by J.J. Salas. He's been very busy tonight. He happens to be a junior cornerback.
So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. And again, folks, if you're on the social media, you can follow us on Twitter at 956sports. Like us on Facebook, 956sports. And also you can download the 956 Sports app on your Android or your iPhone. The app is free. You can download that app.
Kevin very busy on his phone all during the night, getting scores and giving scores and giving and taking, right?
Absolutely.
Little give and take, as they say. All right, it is, I believe, Perez back in at quarterback. Sanchez, I should say. Jesus Sanchez, and the pass attempt is incomplete that time. Intended for Joseph Marino, so it's going to be 2nd down and 10 from the 25-yard line of Rowe. Warriors trying to get something going, a couple touchdowns in this third quarter. See if they can score again with 1:25, or at least keep possession going into the fourth quarter. Back is Sanchez, and Sanchez will keep it. Only gets about 3 or 4 yards. Goes down under his own power. I think he saw a couple of those defensive players coming his way.
I think he may have lost his footing
his footing? Okay.
Yeah, just maybe. He may have slipped up on the turf. So.
All right.
And, the turf, having it being, brand new turf, I remember the first game with Memorial and Sherryland, some of the coaches were kind of concerned about the turf having it not being broken, but I think that concern is put to rest here tonight.
It is 3rd down and 7 at the 25-yard line. Back to pass Sanchez. He's got a receiver wide open. Gets it at midfield. Down to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 5, 10. Touchdown. And it's Joseph Marino. Marino goes all the way 72 yards down the near sideline for the touchdown. Marino, the coach has got to be happy. Coach Marino has to be happy with his son, the younger Joseph Marino.
And that's 2 big plays from Moreno.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's what these Warriors can do. We talked about it in the pregame. I said speed, speed, speed. That's what these wide receivers possess.
That's right. And remember, we were talking about it. They've got a 3rd touchdown. We were saying, is there enough time to get a 3rd touchdown here in the 3rd quarter? Well, there was. Extra point attempt up and is good. It's good by Sanchez, the quarterback, who just threw the touchdown pass. Remember, he missed his first extra point attempt of the night, but perfect 3 for 3 on his last 3. So it is now 58-27. And Marino, an exciting player. Remember, in the victory over Mercedes, he had 2 touchdowns, including one in that second overtime for the victory. So nothing that he can't do out there. No surprise that he can make the big play. That much is for sure. Marino was the district's leading receiver last year with 719 yards. And remember, Rowe does have 7 starters back from last year, too, so they do have a little experience on offense.
And another good thing is they returned all 5 of their offensive linemen from last year, so
That's
there's a
huge.
ton of experience.
Get it? That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
A little play on words there. But we do have 32 seconds remaining. Longhorns leading 58-27. Squib kick, as you'd expect, but this time at midfield, it is picked up, and the man that recovered, a running back, Sammy Garcia. So it looks like they've got the hands team out there on the kickoff returns. Smart move for the Longhorns. And they will get the ball at midfield. We'll see if they do some more running like they did on the opening series that Sanchez came in. He's been mixing up a little more in other series. What do you think of Sanchez as a quarterback? Not doing too bad of a job.
Well, an athlete like him, I think he can do it all, and he's just as impressive at wide receiver. Someone like Ryan Tannehill. A lot of people forget he played wide receiver, but he's also played quarterback. He's a tremendous athlete. All
right. We have players lined up in the slot each side. This time looking on the right side, and gets the pass down for the first down over to Kevin Esparza. He's seen some action here in the second half, the junior. And the ball will go from midfield down to about the 39-yard line. So let's give it an 11-yard gain on the play. A lot of depth on this Longhorns team, that's for sure. Haven't lost much of a beat with these reserves in there. Handoff this time, and going to 30, to the 20, to the 15, and it'll get knocked down at the 10-yard line. And that should be the last play of the quarter. Isaac Velasquez. So on the tackle, they get him down at the 9-yard line. So what, about 30 yards, something like that?
So we're going to flip sides of the field at the end of the third quarter. And some fourth quarter scores from around the valley. Corpus Christi Carroll leads Mackay 40-7. Roma leads La Jolla Palmview 31-21. And again, of course, Alexander 14, Sherryland 10. We talked about that one earlier in the fourth quarter. Pioneer leads La Feria 20-10. And of course, Westlaco 14, Harlingen 13 in the fourth quarter. The Mission Eagles lead the Edinburgh Bobcats late in the third quarter, 35-6. Corpus Christi 42, Rio Grande City 17. That one's also in the fourth quarter.
58-27, beginning the fourth quarter. It is the Longhorns leading the Warriors, along with Kevin Naro. I'm Scott Harrison. Jake Berry, our producer tonight. And a handoff to begin the fourth quarter. And about 3 on the carry. Let's see who is running the ball. I know they're putting some reserves in. On the tackle, we did see it was Ricardo Oliveras. I believe Sammy Garcia was the running back that time. And this time, pass intended, and there's going to be pass interference. It was Daniel Reese, the intended receiver. But a flag on the play. Should be pass interference, probably against the home team.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy call for the officials. Just waiting for them to bring in the call. So all three logos of the 3 high schools here in McAllen in both end zones. You have the Bulldog, the Mustang, and the Warrior.
Warrior on the right side, at least over here in the south end zone. Ball handed off this time, and bouncing off, getting down to the 2-yard line, getting a 1-yard gain on first and goal was once again Sammy Garcia. Garcia, a senior running back. In the first minute of the fourth quarter. And again, a spread offense. Garcia lined up next to the quarterback, and he'll get the ball once again. It looks like he goes nowhere as he tries to challenge the center of the Rowe line. There's going to have none of that this play. Among those in on the tackle was Lalo Hernandez, a senior linebacker. It's going to be 3rd down and goal to go. Ball at the 2-yard line. High snap. This time quarterback keeper fakes the handoff, goes around the right side, and Sanchez will not get there. Maybe lost a little bit. And in on the tackle is Alex Juarez. Remember, he had that interception.
Yeah, exactly what I was about to say. Juarez made another big play there, who had the interception earlier in this second half, which eventually led to a Warrior touchdown.
So it's at the Warrior 3, 4th down and goal to go. Approaching 10 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. 58-27 is the lead for the visitors. This time Sanchez fakes a pass, and he'll go down the right side, and he gets in for the touchdown. One man back there, Eric Amaya, had a chance to get him, but he goes the 3 yards and gets the score. So Sanchez, 3 catches for touchdowns in the first half, and now a couple of touchdown runs in the second half.
That's his second rushing touchdown?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what's that, 5 altogether?
Yeah, 14-yard rush,
wow.
And that time a 3-yard rush. So he is really looking good tonight. And, of course, I don't even know exactly how many 2-point conversions he's have. I've kind of lost track of exactly who got all the 2-point conversions. But now I think I said there were 5 of 8 overall. I'm trying to keep the overall stats on this. And, the ball is snapped high to Sanchez. He's going to run around, see if he can find someone open in the end zone. And double team back there was his intended receiver. Good job on defense after the broken play. and not being able to get the ball that time was Chris Cardenas. So I think that's 5 and 9, Kevin, on 2-point conversion, and it's 64-27. The Longhorns have the lead with 10:04 remaining in the game.
So again, folks, you can follow us on the social media sites at 956 Sports on Twitter. You can follow us there. You can like us on Facebook, 956 Sports, and you can also download the 956 Sports app on your iPhone, your Android, and you can also check out the website, 956sports.com, as Scott and I are bringing you this action here and keep up with everything in the Rio Grande Valley. Volleyball is also full head of steam.
You cover
as well.
some volleyball.
Yeah, I cover it on Tuesdays.
Talk a little bit about what you've seen.
Well, I've seen about 3 or 4 weeks of it. I know, I think it's Nikki Rowe is one of the better teams in the Valley, along with McAllen Memorial. Mission Veterans, I saw them beat Sherryland. Volleyball is it gets pretty intense. A lot of people kind of overlook it, but it's a pretty good sport.
I covered the SEC tournament one year in Mobile, Alabama, and really enjoyed it. I used to go cover some games at LSU years ago. All right, we do have the kickoff, and it's brought down to about the 30-yard line. And on the kickoff return, it's Adrian Burnell, so he's getting a little playing time here in the second half. Again, just a sophomore, the receiver. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Nikki Rowe at their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, Scott, you have a long road ahead of you. You're speaking of LSU.
I'm going from here, to New Orleans, actually Slidell, a suburb of New Orleans, and then back to Baton Rouge to work the Auburn-LSU game for CBS Sports, Fox Radio, and also Yahoo. So if you listen to any of those stations, I think 1700 here in town is a Fox affiliate. You might hear me on the air tomorrow if I'm awake. All right, back to pass. Now a new quarterback in, and it's Perez once again. And he is going to get the ball down to Chavez. And the ball was at the 31-yard line. They're going to move it near the 40. Looks like it's a little short of the first down, maybe about 9-yard gain.
Yeah, a couple of big games tomorrow in the SEC. I know Bama.
And Ole Miss. Yeah, that's huge.
That's gonna be a big
and that
one.
could be a revenge game because, remember, Bama's only regular season loss last year was against Ole Miss. All right, pass again. Short pass on the left side. But getting enough for the first down over the 45-yard line is Raul Hoer. Let me see.
Raul Juarez?
Yeah, Raul Juarez. Got it. And the ball will be marked. Let's see where they have it. They have it at the 48-yard line. And, again, about 6 or 7 yards. All right, now there's also a penalty against the Longhorns. The ball was at about the 46. So looks like a personal foul maybe, Kevin.
We have an updated score. So how about this for drama in the final week of non-district play? Harlingen is on the Westlake 1-yard line with 42 seconds left, 3rd and 1. And, of course, Westlake 14-13.
All right, Rowe has the ball 1st and 10 after the penalty on the 37-yard line. Gets it downfield. Complete pass to the 23-yard line to Raul once again. J.J. Morales, a junior cornerback, was back there defending. Clock moving, approaching 9 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Also, Kevin, I get to see Jameis Winston on Sunday when the Saints host the Buccaneers. Winston's first ever pro road game in the regular season. And a nice run this time going to the 5-10 touchdown. It was a slow developing play, but on the right side, all of a sudden the quarterback, John Perez, keeps it. Isn't that amazing how that slowly developed? And all of a sudden you see a 22-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, broke a couple tackles there, so a nice run from Bettis. And you're right, you mentioned it earlier about the fight and these Warriors. Despite the score being what it is, Nikki Rowe's still coming hard at Laredo United, showing them that they're not going to go down.
All right, let's see if Sanchez can make the extra point attempt. It's up, and it is good. It is good. And Hector Vasquez, I believe, is the holder there. So I believe he's made, if I'm correct, maybe 4 or 5 in a row, extra points after missing the first one. 64-34 is the score. 8:48 remaining. Rowe only had 6 points going into then that big miscue early. The fumble led to an early touchdown on the kickoff. The fumble on the kickoff led to a quick touchdown on the first play from scrimmage for the Longhorns. And it looked like maybe it was time for a real blowout. But Rowe has just come back and kept it respectable.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, really it's to no surprise, they just finally got their offense going.
Mm-hmm. And they've been using two quarterbacks tonight. Both have had moments of shining. John Perez, senior quarterback, and also Jesus Sanchez, a sophomore quarterback. Both have had their moments to shine. Both have struggled, but both have also shined in the game.
And it's everything we expected
right
out of that Warrior offense. A lot of points, slinging it around to their big receivers. 48-34, Mission Vets leads.
Squib kick once again. It'll pick up around the 29-yard line. Sanchez with the kick. And I believe, let's make sure we have it. I believe it's Ruiz with the return. And on the tackle, Roman Villarreal makes the tackle. Junior who plays linebacker and running back. So two-way player. Remember the old days of Ironman football in the arena leagues when the guys used to play both ways.
So it's 8:05 left. Over at Mission Veterans, they lead 48-34 against PSG North. So majority of the game started to come to a close.
Well, we knew this would be one of the later ones.
The 10 o'clock hour, yeah.
We knew that we predicted maybe this would go to 10-15. Sanchez still a quarterback, gets a handoff there, and will get about a yard or two. And the running back on this particular play is Rene Reyes, a senior. So they've gone deep on the depth chart at running back tonight. And it's going to be 2nd down and 9 from the 40-yard line. Clock running, approaching 8 minutes remaining. Sanchez out of the shotgun, as they do all night, tries to find a receiver in the flat, goes to the left side, and the pass is a little bit underthrown, incomplete. So the pass was intended for Chris Cardenas. Still will be 3rd and 9. Ball at the 40-yard line. Look like a few seconds are still ticking off that clock. And it looks like offsides penalty. We'll see if Nikki Rowe was drawn off. Looked like they jumped, but we'll have to see if they were drawn off. And they did jump early. So it's going to be a 5-yard mark off. Ball will be at the 45-yard line. And it will now be 3rd and 4. Ball in Longhorn territory. And someone has that D with the fence, those little symbols. Defense, a couple Rowe fans right below us. Again, Sanchez has some time, passes the ball. Had a receiver open for a moment, but overthrew him. Kevin Esparza was the receiver. And back there, Nicholas Barros, a junior safety, was on the play, doing a good job on defense. And we have 4th down and 5 coming up at the 45-yard line. We never see punting from this team, so they'll just go for it. I don't know what they do if they were inside their own 5, Kevin.
I have no idea.
Now, is there a timeout? Flag on the play. Maybe some offsides there. So it's going to be moved back to the 40. It's going to be against the Longhorns. And they will go back to 4th and 9. The referee giveth and the referee taketh away.
Final score, Harlingen 21, Westlake 14.
Wow.
So that game just went final. And
we did see a punt, by the way. I'm sorry to miss.
Well, is that the first time we see
I think so.
Laredo United punt all night?
Let me give me the punter. Let me see who that was just real quick here. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's the quarterback. The starting quarterback. We'll have to put in the stats that he actually played in the second half. All right, because he's the punter. I was told that. Ignacio Tellis actually punted that. So we can't say he didn't play in the second half at all. He did come in as punter.
But you do have to practice your special teams.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, they do punt sometimes. The coach actually did tell me before the game that they do punt sometimes. All right. 1st and 10 for Nikki Rowe. They get the ball back at their own 28-yard line. Looks like Jesus Sanchez is back in there, and he'll throw to the left side. And Hector Bosquez, the senior, will get a short gain. Looks like he's a little shaken up, but gets up under his own power. Actually, a little loss on that play, maybe a loss of a yard. So it's going to be 2nd down and 11. Ball is back at the 28-yard line. Clock continuing to run, approaching the midway point here in the final quarter. Exciting night. I think we're going to go over 100 total for the night, Kevin. It's 64-34.
With the way Nikki Rowe's shown their offense, it's very possible.
Maybe on this drive, huh? But this time, a sack. Good tackling that time. Few yard loss for Sanchez. And again, in on that particular tackle, looked like Hector Ballesteros, the middle linebacker, was over there.
Head on again. Eddie head on the tackle.
Both of them back in that area. So it'll be 3rd down and 15 at the 23-yard line. Slots each side. Sanchez back to pass. Looks like he got his receiver. Might be a little short of the 1st down, but the pass was complete to Adrian Bernal.
Well, Bernal was the guy who came in and signaling first down.
So it did get it. It was going to be close. The ball is over at the 39-yard line. And once again, it's dropped off. A little screen play, flag on the play. It was Sanchez dropping it off to Chavez, but a flag on the play.
That flag came in late over on the near side of the line judge. I think it's going to be going against Laredo United, maybe a late hit.
All right. Picked up a few yards on the play.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3.
So what's next for these Warriors? They will open up their 36A district play with a road game at Juarez Lincoln. Then they'll come back and face Trevor Spates and the Mustangs. Then they will play against Mac High, which will be here. Then they will host Palmview. Then they'll travel to Mission to take on the Eagles. And another flag comes in. This one's going to be going against the offense. And then they'll wrap up their season with a home game against the La Jolla Coyotes.
All right, it was 1st and 10 at the 42. But again, it's going to now be 1st and 15, so ball will move back to the 47.
So they'll have a road game to open up their district play in La Jolla against Juarez Lincoln, and they'll come home.
All right, quarterback keeper this time for Sanchez. Tries to work around the left side, but he is stopped.
Raul Guillen on that tackle.
Yeah, not much.
And essentially, you know, when they play Memorial and when they play in Mac High, it says road game, but it's a home game. They share the same game, so they'll be back here. So the second game of district play, they'll have to take on the Mustangs, who are a favorite, really, to win that 36A district.
2nd down and 14 from the 46. I want to ask you in a minute. I know you're a big Cowboy fan. No Des Bryant this weekend. I'll ask you about the Cowboys here in a second. All right, back to pass. It is Sanchez. Another flag on the play. He was trying to get it down to Hector Bosquez, who was guarded back there by J.J. Salas.
I think it was week 1, real quick. We talked about the flags when we saw Donna and Weslaco. We're already, in our 4th game in non-district play. So both coaches are going to be pretty upset with so many penalties here late in this ball game. You know, just very undisciplined.
Holding against the defense.
Yeah. So, again, Coach Sanchez is going to go back to this and, look at the positive, of course, but then looking at all the negatives that they can fix. A lot of penalties and, that interception early in this one. But if you're going to ask me about the Cowboys on Sunday, I'm pretty worried. Now,
are they moving both ways? Okay, here's the play. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to see what it was. So I do want to hear about that, definitely. I just was going to see where they were going to mark it. Okay, it'll be down to about the 36-yard line. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, no Des Bryant. That really worries me. I think the defense now can really stack the box and focus on the run. But the Eagles, they're a tough squad.
Lost their opener.
Yeah, they did on Monday night against the Falcons. Good old Atlanta. You covered a lot of sports teams there in Atlanta.
Yes, I have. All right, quarterback keeper, maybe a loss of about 1 on the play. Sanchez on the keeper.
I've always referred to Louisiana as the South, but until we made that trip last year, said it's the Dixie South.
Dixie
Louisiana.
South.
So now I really refer to Louisiana, Mississippi all as, the Dixie South.
Hoop scouts, hoop skirts, antebellum homes, all that kind of stuff. So, all right. Quarterback under some pressure, tries to get it downfield, does to the 20-yard line, to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And on the reception, Hector Vasquez, the former quarterback, does a nice job there.
Vasquez with a nice catch over the middle.
So it is now 64-40, and so far in the second half, get this, Nikki Rowe scored 34 points. Who would have thunk it? After only having 6 and being dominated there in that first half. And again, Perez in for the extra point attempt. It is good. And Vasquez is the holder, so contributed to both the scores there. 64-41, 4:13 remaining. I got to be impressed with the Nikki Rowe crowd. They have really remained here. But they've got a great second half to watch. 35 points in the second half by their team. This has been a lot of fun. Exciting time.
So some updated scores, some final scores from across the valley. Economides gets their second win in a row against Juárez Lincoln, 20-10. Pioneer defeats La Feria 27-10. We'll talk about Pioneer in just a minute. La Villa 43, Santa Rosa 25, Harlingen 21, Westlaco 14. Sherryland Pioneer is a team that a lot of people are not paying much attention to because of maybe the district that they're in, that 31-5A, when you have Vela, Sherryland, Mission Veterans. But I think they can surprise some people, and also the Roma Gladiators as well. They're a very good football team. But Pioneer could be that team just waiting in the wings. You know, Sherryland feeling the effects of the split this year, and Pioneer starting to feed off of that.
All right, Hands team out there, but this time not so good. Kind of bobbled around a little bit. Trying to get the initial ball with Sammy Garcia, but it is recovered by the Longhorns. And getting it is Alex Villanueva. So one running back, a backup running back, kind of fumbles it, but then Villanueva drops down on it. First down and 10 at the 48-yard line for the Longhorns. 4:12 remaining. Sanchez going all the way quarterback here in the second half. After the starter throws for 5 in the first half. And this time Sanchez feels the pressure over on the left side and will get the ball underthrown, but gets a reception out there. Receiver came back for it, gets down to the 35-yard line, and in on that reception is Kevin Esparza. Nice pressure that time applied by Nikki Rowe in the backfield. And it was kind of a lame duck thrown up there, Kevin, but Esparza came back for it and got the first down at the 35-yard line. So 1st and 10, gain of 18, clock is running. Under 3:15 remaining, 3:50 that is remaining here in the fourth. Sanchez lofts it high, and receiver kind of slowed down Jorge Morero, and ball went over his head. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up. And back that time on defense. Let's see. Now we'll catch it here in a moment. All right. Slots on each side. Sanchez back. Passes the ball. Incomplete. Good coverage down there around the 31-yard line.
Well, I think they're going to say it was a catch.
Oh, was it? Okay,
he was down at the 29.
All right. It was far into the field. It was a little dark spot over there, hard to see.
Yeah, the umpire came in and signaled he was down.
So Esparza got the catch. So it's going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up. Ball at the 31-yard line, but the defender was doing a good job. Tight coverage. Esparza really had to work hard to get that catch. Approaching 3 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. 64-41 Longhorns over the Warriors. Slots on each side. This time it's dumped off to the middle of the field. About a 4-yard gain by Jorge Murillo. And on the tackle, Jose Barrera, a junior defensive back, also wide receiver.
Sherryland takes a late 16-14 lead on a 30-yard pass from Campos to Carter. So with 1:14 left in that one, Alexander trails 16-14.
4th down and 3, gain of 3 on that play. Ball at the 29-yard line. Looks like a blitz coming. Ball has gotten off, and it is a reception for the first down, taking it down to about the 19-yard line. Chris Cardenas. making the most of his playing time here in the second half. Gain of 12 on the play. Red zone, actually, they'll mark it at the 17. Again, blitz again. This time delayed handoff, trying to counter the blitz.
So up next for Laredo United, they also will open up their district play. Corpus Christi Carroll, then they'll travel to Del Rio. Then they'll host United South. Then they'll travel to Eagle Pass at Laredo LBJ. And then the big one, I think everybody's circling their calendars, they'll host Laredo Alexander in their season finale.
Marcus Flores seen some running back time, the senior. No gain on the play. Second down and 10 at the 17. Sanchez feeling the pressure this time. And ball is fumbled. And it looks like that maybe Longhorns got it. We'll see. Or no, now Nikki's signaling they may have got it. Nikki Rowe, and the Warriors get it. And coming up with the fumble was Nate Hernandez, junior defensive lineman. So they've been putting a lot of pressure on Sanchez, a lot of blitzes and stuff this time down, and it pays off with a turnover.
You take away that fumble at the beginning, they got 56 points, and it's 41 up for Nikki Rowe. So if they score here, it could have been 56-48.
Wow.
If you take away that mistake, if they score here with
no, I see what you're saying.
You see?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Wow.
That is interesting. And first pass from this scrimmage on this possession is incomplete. It was John Perez trying to get it to Joseph Marino. Ball's at the 27 of Rowe, second down and 10. Minute 38 remaining. Rowe not just going to take a knee. They want to see if they can get that last touchdown. 3 wideouts on the right side, slot on the left. And Perez will keep it. And he is going to go down for a big loss. So nobody open that time.
Well, it's going to be a long ride home for the Longhorns, but they will go home happy. Once again, it's about a 3.5-hour trip, roughly, over to Laredo. They have the Lemurs over there, Laredo.
And one of the players comes up limping. Juan Reyes, an offensive line, senior offensive lineman, senior for Nikki Rowe. He'll be attended to, and looks like he has a problem maybe with his right leg. They help him off. Let's hope nothing serious. So on that play, a loss of 10. 3rd and 20 from the 17-yard line with a minute 13 remaining.
As I was saying earlier, Laredo, they have the Lemurs of the American Association who are actually in the championship game.
Cool.
Talking a little bit of baseball.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Anytime a team here from this area does good, we like to hear about it. And ball just gotten off that time by Perez. He was hit as he got it off, dumped it off on the right side to Marino, but not much gain. But he was feeling the heat that time. Again, under a minute remaining here in regulation. Now some of the fans thinking maybe it's time to go home. So it is going to be 4th down. 4th down and 20. Ball at the 17-yard line. Maybe the final play of the game. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, if it goes over on downs, there may be one more for the Longhorns. Maybe last play of the game for Nikki Rowe. Perez scrambling in the back. Says nobody open now. Scrambles toward his left. Is he going to keep it? No, he'll let it go. And it is caught. The defensive back fell down, and it is going to be a touchdown for Hector Vasquez.
Wow.
I believe it may have been, I'll have to double check, it may have been Salas that fell down. But Vasquez, I'm thinking that's about an 83-yard touchdown reception, something like that.
Roughly, but what a play from the Warriors. We talked about not quitting and to keep on fighting throughout this ball game, and just the heart and grit from these Warriors.
Yeah.
And we're seeing everything that we expected to see from these Warriors. And we talked about taking the momentum into district. Despite what the score may say, the Warriors have to feel pretty good about themselves.
Perez was feeling the pressure, was scrambling toward the left side, almost up to the line of scrimmage when he let the ball go. Got it down near midfield on the near sideline where Vasquez got it and had nobody defending him because the defensive back fell down. Extra point attempt by Sanchez is up and good. So, with 9 seconds remaining, 64-48. And remember your math again, right? Without that touchdown, what would be 56-48? Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. in the second half, 42 points for Nikki Rowe.
Yeah, just an unbelievable second half. And just like I said a couple seconds ago, if you're the Warriors, you have to be feeling pretty good about yourself. You get your offense. And they potentially compete in this district. They can put up points. And that's exactly what we talked about in the pregame, was that we know this offense can score. It's just a matter of, can the defense make enough plays to keep their team in the ball game.
And by the way, if you're listening to this game live, didn't we say 10-15? It's just about that right there. Thought this game would end. All right, squib kick and getting the ball right around midfield. Nice job falling on it. This time it's number 81, Jose Martinez, a senior receiver. One more play remaining, and we're heading to the house. Well, but I'm heading to a house, my sister's actually, and you've been there before.
Yeah, nice place.
In Slidell,
yeah, Slidell is very
Slidell,
nice.
Louisiana. So my house is kind of far tonight, but we'll get there. All-night drive. A lot of drives tonight. I'm not the only one driving. We've seen a lot of drives by Nikki Rowe, especially in the second half. After our first half dominated by Laredo. So one play left, 8 seconds remaining. Takes the knee, Sanchez, and that will be it. The players will all shake hands, as well they should. It's deserved. It was hard fought. No one should hang their head down low. Well, Kevin, you got some interesting things here. David Sanchez, 3 touchdowns in the first half on receptions, and then a couple rushing in the second half when he played quarterback. As far as the quarterback for the home team, for the visitors, I should say, Ignacio Tellez, he had 5 touchdowns in the first half, some of the highlights. And in the second half, big second half for the home team, just never gave up and scored almost all their points in the second half and did a nice job, I'll tell you. As you look at this 64-48 final, the Laredo United Longhorns over the home team. We'll get some thoughts from you in a second, but first, Laredo United goes to 3-1. The Longhorns, they're District 29 6A. McAllen Rowe drops to 1-2. They're District 30 6A. And Kevin, before we wind it up, any final thoughts?
Yeah, as far as Laredo United goes, the next time I will see them will probably be in the playoffs, depending on who they play against. But I was very impressed with what they can do on offense. They can stretch the field with Luna and Sanchez. They have a ton of weapons, and that's going to be a very fun 29 6A district. As for the Nikki Rowe Warriors, everything we wanted to see happened in the second half. And, they put up a lot of points and on big plays. So their district, 36A, a lot of people will go ahead and circle it in and say McAllen Memorial will win this district. But, I think Nikki Rowe can keep up with teams like that, especially with how many points they can score, because we've seen Memorial's defense give up a lot of points. So a potential shootout could be in the making, and then they still got to play against La Jolla. Got a pretty good defense, the 3 La Jolla schools and then the 2 other McAllen schools, and they also have the Mission Eagles. But nonetheless, a very offensive team. The defense will fix up some things, but nonetheless, it's a great game. A lot of points,
yes,
as we projected. And again, it was a pleasure working with you. I want to thank, Jake, Carlos for making this possible. And I'm excited to see what we have next week.
All right, that sounds good, Kevin. And again, our broadcast, the 956sports.com Game of the Week, brought to you by Miriam Guerra Insurance, Allstate Insurance, with locations in Weslaco and McAllen, and McDonald's. I'm loving it. Once again, from McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium, final score on this nice evening where everybody was having a good time. It was the Laredo United Longhorns 64, the McAllen Nikki Rowe Warriors 48. We'll talk to you again next week. Have a great weekend, everyone.